Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I'm live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And down in San Diego is my good friend and co-host, Dennis Bathalkas, the Greek Geek. What's up, dude?
Man, turn off that tranny tentacle porn. Just close out the windows now before we end up going on, on the air, and you'll be okay.
I was going to share that later. Why not?
and also with parts and from Parts Unknown, we have Susan Layton with us too. How you doing, Susan?
Hey, I'm doing great, Dennis. Hey, Gary. Hey, everybody in the chat. It is Friday, and we're going to get freaky. Just giving you a heads up.
That's right. We're getting a little free. Wow. It's getting a little weird tonight, Mama. And we're going to start out with a weird show. And we saw, this is weird. So we went to Comic-Con and we went to a panel that was pretty, think back on it, it's an amazing panel. It had the showrunners from it, the Tick, The Expanse, Mr. Robot, and I'm blanking on it. And Neil Gaiman.
Well, also, and then also Tom Clancy's thing that he had. Paul Ryan, or Jack Ryan. Thank you.
We're starting out great. The showrunner for that show, who we don't remember, and Gail Ann Hurd, one of the greatest producers of all time, was there. So it was an amazing panel. But Sam Esmail was talking about his new show that was not Mr. Robot, and basically he kind of fit this in while Rami Malek was off doing Bohemian Rhapsody, which came out this weekend, which none of us saw, but we're gonna. And he did a show with Julia Roberts called Homecoming, and it's based on a podcast, which I have not listened to, and I guess neither of you guys either.
Nope, I have not.
When they first said podcast, I'm like, what? They did a movie on a bunch of people talking about shit? And no, it's like a radio drama. So I'm like, okay, well, they're calling radio dramas podcasts now. Great, fine. I'm old. So we saw the first episode. It's called Mandatory. They're 26-minute episodes. It's on Amazon Prime. And it's typical Sam Esmail. He directed this one, so visually stunning as hell. Like, it's weird, it's bizarre. It's got some scenes filmed like you're on a phone, like you're watching it on a phone.
Yeah,
and
those take place in the future.
And hello, chat. We will get to you guys in just a second. We're just going to talk about this show while everybody's rolling in.
About 4 or 5 years in the future. We don't know for sure.
4 or 5 years. Yeah, it jumps around time. So it's typical Sam Esmail with the unreliable narrator playing with time and perception. The very first shot is of an aquarium, a fishbowl, basically, and
palm trees and a fishbowl.
Palm trees and a fishbowl, which tells you everything you need to know. Dennis, overall thoughts on the show?
It's very okay. So I saw the first 2 episodes. Okay, I'm gonna come clean here. I fell asleep near the end of episode 1 and woke up in the beginning of episode 2
of a 26-minute episode. But Dennis does fall asleep pretty easily.
And I knew what was going on. I was still with it there, and I got what he was going with. Is he was Sam Esmail is showing everything is kind of normal. But it's not. Everything is not normal. So it's the normality of weirdness is what he's got going on, which he normally does in a lot of his stuff. And I was kind of digging it by the episode 2. And I want to see a little bit more, at the end of episode 2.
Well, his style is better than everybody's. Basically, he does what Counterpart does. He takes the mundane and makes it extraordinary. And does it with sound, does it completely with sound. Like the very last scene when the credits are rolling, there's a DOD agent who's just kind of shitty at asking questions, by the way, who gets pushed off by Julia Roberts, and he's just sitting there going, And she's working on a restaurant that's like right on a wharf and a port. So you get all the sounds of the boats and the birds and the water, and it's just really like this full sound, and it's not like it's turned up too loud, but it's done on a pure artistic level, and you still have it framed like you're watching it on a phone, which is weird, but it still works. And it plays with time, and it really makes it look like the future. And the way Sam Esmail makes it's surreal. He's great at surrealism, and he takes a basic show that is about a counselor working at a facility that's a transition facility for vets. But
people coming home from war.
Through one phone call, which is done through this beautiful like one-shot scene in the beginning, we find out that what's up with this is she's a counselor and she's just there doing her job. But we find out that like she's pretty important because she's there gathering data for basically a drug test, some sort of drug test. They're trying to get this drug approved. It needs to be approved through the DOD for some reason. And what's up? Thank you, James Hardy. Good evening, fellas. I missed Penny Dreadful. It was just the right amount of weird. Thanks for the content. James Hardy, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
I appreciate it. And we will be talking about Penny Dreadful. So the DOD has to approve this program.
Holy crap.
I don't know if it's through a drug or through the program itself. What's up, Movie Fanobi? Hi, hello, heyo. My hand is bothering me this week, surprisingly or not, for masturbating 14 times like Apple Crow, but won't be typing. Just listening to the sexy beard, lovely Susan, and cute Dennis. Yeah, Dennis is cute.
Dennis is very
He's cute, like a porcupine is cute. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks, movie.
Thank you for oversharing. Maybe
times. Well, I mean, like in what amount of time? You know, if it's in a week, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a happily married guy, so I mean,
kind of sad.
Beard erotic, nice.
Yeah, Mako, I got that too. I got that Sam Esmail is doing an homage to Hitchcock in this, and yes, he is doing specific movies that he's paying homage to, and actually trying to do modern homages as well. It's kind of funny. He's doing a lot of weird stuff with this, and it's experimental. It's very experimental for him, honestly. And I started catching that, like I said, by the time I got into the second episode, and I was kind of getting into it. I'm like, okay, this is what he's doing. I'm on board with this. And
yes,
I can hang with it.
No, absolutely. I love this guy. There wasn't enough in the first episode to really, I mean, outright recommend it, other than I'm going to recommend it because it's Sam Esmail, so it's going to be good. I've read some reviews that it lacked a little substance, and I'm just talking about the first episode. Well, I mean, there wasn't enough there for you to know. Bobby Cannavale is Cannavale. He is brilliant as usual, as the shady possible boss of Heidi, and he gives a lot of information about well, I mean, it's probably too late, but we should probably put the spoiler warning.
We're not really spoiling much. I mean,
well,
go ahead, Susan.
No, I had a question for you guys because
sure.
You know, with Amazon Prime seems to be like the hub right now, where they're taking podcasts and they're making them into shows, like with Lore and now with Homecoming. And from what I've been gathering, with what I've been reading about Homecoming, that is the one big complaint that people have, is that the visuals are not matching up to the narrative that you're getting from the podcast. It very much has a podcast kind of audio feel. And a lot of people felt that Cannavale's talking on the phone was highly distracting and taking away from the story. Do you think that's a kink that Esmail may work out in, you know, after a couple of episodes? Or do you think that's going to be a constant thing that might irritate some viewers?
You want to take it first? Or you want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. What I got out of it is that Bobby's scenes, because they're interspliced, he just kind of interjects in there, so you're getting a lot of mundane stuff that's happening, and he comes in to kind of jolt you just a little bit, zit, 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 and he's doing that just to kind of perk you up a little bit and go, what the hell's going on? And to actually little seeds of doubt, also maybe even using him in a way of like a red herring, like he does on Mr. Robot with him quite a bit. And he's good at doing this. He does do red herrings quite a bit. And that's what I think that Bobby's character is. And I just want to say there was one thing that he called her, he called Heidi, he said, you're my point of contact. And I swear to God, my ears perked up when I heard that. He goes, I want you to be my only point of contact. And at work, that's what I am for my area, is I am the point of contact. And I was like, oh yeah. So it's I'm going to do every fucking thing in the world.
Right.
That's what my job is now. Okay, I got what she's doing now. And that's exactly. And I was like, I feel so sorry for her now. Even though I hate Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
I was kind of feeling for the character because she just realized it too. She's like, oh shit, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, there's something about her too. We get some background that her character is getting away from something and she's having some sort of fresh start. Now, the vibe I got from the facility, I couldn't figure out. We did get to see where Bobby was, but that phone call you were speaking of, Susan, did sound like something I didn't hear the podcast, but it sounds like something that it sounded like they pulled it right from the podcast.
Yeah.
Like completely. Yeah. Like it was meant to be something that for audio that maybe you should have tempered down a little bit for something visual. But then they showed where he was, and there's a bunch of people behind him breaking up a bunch of shit, which I couldn't figure out.
They're hosing down metal tables and things like that.
Yeah, they need to sterilize something for some type of drug or something. And that's what
for a lab.
For a lab. So they're trying to get data to use. It reminds me a lot of a program to get people off opiates. That's called it's a drug called Suboxone, and it popped up about 10 years ago, and it was really pushed. I don't want to get down this wormhole, but the people who made it really pushed a lot of doctors to open up these facilities and get a bunch of people who are on opiates in there to test this thing out. When it got rushed through, it got approved. And to this day, people don't know what long-term side effects are from that shit. And there's a lot of people on it, we'll just say. And they really pushed it without knowing what the fuck they were pushing. And it looks like something like that. It looks like they're trying to rush through a program that they're going to put these, but that's the red herring in itself.
Yeah.
Right. This is about Julia Roberts and her character Heidi and her being, we're being played with here. I don't think we're actually seeing her where she actually is, if that makes any sense. It's very Mr. Robot, folks. So if you like Mr. Robot and you like having your brain fucked with, watch this show if you have Amazon Prime. And of course, it's on Amazon Prime. It's a great deal. And this is where you get the experimental shit. This is why the stream wars, we're going to win. While this war is going on, we're going to get fucking Artur shit. We're gonna get surreal shit. We're gonna get like pushing the envelope. You know, they're gonna stop playing it safe because they're actually in competition with each other for a little while. It's gonna be great.
That's what we need. I mean, Amazon Prime, I'm looking at what they're doing and I'm really digging it. And especially with shows like this and lore, because when you do podcasts, like we have to tell everybody because that's what we're doing. But when you do that type of podcast, you have to really be character driven. And it seems like Amazon is the place for when you want to tell a good story. And this seems like this is storytelling at its finest. It's you know, like a book. You're actually seeing a visual book. Now, I guess my question to you guys, because I'm a little bit behind and couldn't see Homecoming tonight because I was pretty busy. And I want to see it. What would you say that our audience is going to stay intrigued? Because we know people don't really dig character-driven pieces now. It's all about what special effects you can do, what shiny objects you can institute. There's really no deep drive in Hollywood or on network television for storytelling. Do you think this show's going to be compelling? I know it has a season 2 already, but do you think it's going to be compelling enough to sustain viewership?
Before I answer, I just want to say thank you to Movie for Nobody for the $1.99. Susan, hey baby, we never heard about your deep love. Thank you. You want to go first there, Gary?
Well, I'm thinking about Susan's deep love right now.
That was a red herring, everyone.
That's a red herring.
It was. I like to throw off the red herring there.
This is coming off 30 minutes of dick jokes because we were reviewing Titans earlier today. Okay. So that's a really good question, Susan, because you have kind of went through this with Lodge 49. It fortunately got a season 2, and it kind of got a resurgence like halfway through its season. So I think it depends on the word of mouth. Sam Esmail, his name, it works for us, for the normies and the general public. I don't know if they know who the guy is. Even if you say the Mr. Robot guy, most of them will probably go, "Oh, that show was too weird for me. I don't know."
Yeah, that's too complicated. It makes me think.
It's my normie voice, by the way. And so I don't know. I think it's perfect Amazon Prime. If it was on some kind of cable network, it would have gotten axed. That probably never would have happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I say, every time you're seeing, if you're not really paying attention, there's little things that are in there that I'm noticing now too. Like they'll change shit within the scene because he does a lot of camera switching back and forth between characters, and he will change things when he switches the camera. And it's little things too that you don't catch because it's mundane again. But it's like, and I started catching, I'm like, what the fuck did I just, that just appeared there. Where did that come from? So, and then,
we'll go through it. And if it's like really, really, really good, we'll do a full season review like Sunday or Monday. I mean, they're half-hour episodes, so we can probably burn through it pretty quick.
Yeah.
There's a big, what's the bird? Is it a pelican or is it a?
It was a pelican that showed up.
Okay. Yeah, there's this random pelican that makes a bunch of noise that means something. These are all troubled soldiers, by the way. So they're fucking with people who are, right now pretty easy to fuck with, which is despicable. And there's a DOD agent in the future who's questioning Heidi, Julia Roberts' character, poorly, by the way. His questions were starting to piss me off because they were just like, because he kept asking the same thing. How long did you work there? He didn't ask any question that was going to give us any information, which they obviously didn't want to do in the first episode, which is fine. But so, and I only watched the first episode, but I would say it was good because it looked pretty as hell. And I'm not a fan of Julia Roberts either, but she was decent in it. And Bobby Cannavale was, or Cannavale or whatever his name is great. I love that guy. Love him in everything he does. Even in Final, which the show sucked, but he was good.
And everything Gary just said, I mean, it's very, like I said, it's not until the second episode, and I know I'm cheating there a little bit with the second episode, that you really start getting hooked in. The first episode is just kind of setting the table, if you will. And the second episode is where you start digging into the meat of things. And by the way, Sissy Spacek's in this series as well.
Yep. But first episodes are first impressions. I mean, it's short, so I guess you could expect it to be binged, but we were talking about this on the Titans recap on how important first impressions are, because Titans, you got to go watch my review. The first one sucked, but this week's episode was very good.
It was really good.
So it's hard. It's hard to, but it was good for not for reasons within the show. And you'll have to see my review on that one. Dennis could probably talk about it later, but let's get to the chat a little bit. We got a lot of super chats already, so thanks, guys. Thank you, James Hardy. Thank you, Movie Finobi, and Movie Finobi.
So Jody says, not to jump the gun a bit, but I agree with Gary. Titans was actually pretty good this week, though it was odd that I prefer it to the upcoming Doom Patrol series instead. Jumping over to that just really quick, the Chief is actually going to be played by Timothy Dalton in the series, and it was played by a different guy this time around. And I was kind of like, hey, wait a minute, where's? I'm like, because I was looking at it going, isn't that supposed to be played by a different character, like somebody I know? And I had to look up on IMDb. Yeah, and it's Timothy Dalton. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see Timothy Dalton play that character.
So they must have this must have been a test run, and then they ran the test footage, and people loved it. So they greenlit they greenlit the show, and then they recast a bunch of people. So is Brendan Fraser going to be the voice of this robot in the series?
Yes, he is the voice.
He was good.
Very Alan Tudyk is the voice of Negative Man, and Matt Balmer is his body. So Matt Balmer was actually the body this time around, but Alan Tudyk did not voice him.
He did not. But you know who was the voice? It was the guy from Bones.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he did a good job.
Yeah.
But if Tudyk is going to do it, oh man. I mean,
and
we got to go to the chat, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Later. And Elastigirl is still going to be the same character.
That's good.
She's going to play it. Yeah. She was pretty good.
Cyborg's going to be in it. And there's Mr. Nobody's going to be in it. And
yeah. Actually, Tudyk is at Mr. Nobody. I take that back.
Okay.
That's
so
what it is.
I don't know if the same guy is going to be playing Mr. Negative, but he did a very good job voicing the character. So I hope he stays.
Mako,
take it.
Mako says the plot twist was very easy to guess and kind of boring. I was expecting Legion or Mr. Robot and got something mundane. Yeah, I know he's going with the mundane in this purposely because it's a red herring, Mako.
Is it a plot? Are you like going to the end of the show, or
I think you went to the end of the show?
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you, CC, for the $5. Hail Nerdrotic. I really appreciate the great content in chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, CC. We got a $5 super chat from CC. Hail Neurotic. I really appreciate the great content.
I just read that.
Chat. Gotcha.
Yeah. And we also got one from Silhouetted Animator for $5. The Chief is going to change race in Doom Patrol show, guys. Can't say I've seen that retcon very often.
Yeah, they changed it to a white guy. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? Well, because was he Russian or was he?
No, he's Indian. That guy who played him is Indian.
Wasn't an Indian accent though.
No, he's probably grew up here in the U.S. or was doing an American accent. Or
no, that wasn't an American accent. That was like a Eastern European accent, or it couldn't make it
European. Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't get Scarlett Johansson to do it. Maybe she was busy.
She was busy. Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. See, those jokes never get old.
They don't. Well,
they really don't.
We'll decide when they get old.
Exactly. It'll just be one day we're like, yeah, I don't feel it anymore. Sorry.
What's up, Wellington Smithopolis and Silhouetted Animator, Mary Ashmead, and MK Ultra, the DJ D Show, Marcus Kahn, Jody. Man, everybody's here. Tickerman Blade, Truth Apocalypse, Philip A. Demick, Apple Crow. What's up, Apple Crow? How you doing? Kato Roan. Hail everybody. How the fuck are you doing tonight? Happy Friday. Felipe Diaz, what's up?
Scrolling through here. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I don't think a lot of people actually saw Homecoming.
No, I don't think so. But that's why we watch it. So we say, hey, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. And honestly, I'm like, yeah, I mean, go ahead and try it. I don't know, though. I don't know. It looked good. Alien Renders, what's up?
Well, that's interesting that not that many people tuned in because it's got Julia Roberts in it. Then again, maybe that's because why they didn't. But, she is Hollywood royalty box office A-lister. You would think it would have more fanfare.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. When we were both sitting there at Comic-Con, we're like, it's Sam Esmail, but it's got Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
That's exactly how we were. We're just like, it's Sam Esmail, but it's Julia Roberts.
Yeah, I think she's Hollywood royalty. What's up, Matthew Matson? And Joe, how are you? To Hollywood. I think she's one of those plays well in Hollywood. Has had a great career. I don't know if she's box. She's perfect for streaming television now. That's where they're they're not going to get work, and they being the older actors and actresses are going to get work in streaming now in television. They're not going to get work in movies anymore. And I know Apple Crow's just just jacking it.
Joe says Alzheimer is great. Don't let Dennis stop you, Gary.
Oh, what?
What?
Well, at least I'll be awake.
Hey.
Exactly. Mr. Narcolepsy over there. It's Alzheimer's and narcolepsy.
Dude, I was in a class today that I'm surprised I'm even like alive at this point. That class was so freaking boring. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, Felipe Diaz says, hi, people. I was rewatching Castlevania Season 2 with my brother. The ending is so sad and good.
That's the good show.
Yes, and we have some news about that too. So
yeah.
Tyon Ranger says they get old when normies use them. I've been told as a normie. I guess when we were talking about Idris Elba and Scarlett Johansson.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much when it hits The Simpsons, it becomes mainstream and we'll stop doing it.
Well, or it's mainstream because you watch The Simpsons still.
Yeah. Oh.
hey, that's
hey now.
Normies still watch The Simpsons. I think that's a good one. I thought, when did you guys stop watching The Simpsons? I'll just ask out there. It'll probably be season 7, 8, 10, 15. What are we on? Seasons like 67 now?
It's actually season 30, if I remember correctly.
I think it's made on a conveyor belt, for Christ's sake.
Actually, it's made on the blood of children, but yes.
CD Horde, don't shave, Gary. Anti-Trekker did and regretted it. Yeah, no Movember for me. Don't worry. I regretted it when I shaved for a job that I ended up not keeping. So there you go. Langley.
You know what it is? Julia Roberts is good in small doses. TV show, I don't think it's great for her.
No.
Yeah, and I
she
think
doesn't
that's what
really
it is.
even carry a movie anymore either. She's best as an ensemble performer, but I don't know if it was her decision to make the character, because I saw the promos and I have to say she was very lackluster. Now, it's probably like what you said, Dennis, that's the way the character is because of what they're doing with her. But, when you look at her and you're wondering, why is she even a lead character? She's so effing boring. I don't know. Should they have picked somebody different? I don't know.
She does have a very rundown kind of quality in this, which is kind of needed for what happens in the show. So I see why. And then also she was, I guess, a very big fan of the podcast and pushed for the role.
Oh.
And I guess Sam Esmail is a fan of hers and decided to use her in the show. So yeah, it kind of worked out that way. I mean, yes, she has some good moments in the show and the 2 episodes that I've seen, and it's interesting. But there's also some. I mean, I want to see more of Dylan McDermott's character, who's in there. He's in it very, very briefly, but I was actually kind of intrigued with his character because it was so weird.
Yeah.
How about you, Gary? You saw him, right? He was the guy in her place that was cooking her dinner.
Yeah, he was very weird. I was like, what? He's almost copying her at the end when he drinks like her. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? That's when I started going, this is
alien behavior.
Well, I mean, it's not the kind of thing you should be watching sober, because I'm going to start questioning things like, what?
Yeah, that's why I was saying he was one of those characters. I was going to, I want to see a little more of this guy. I mean, I know we only saw 2 or 3 minutes of him, but he was interesting.
Yeah, the closest I can get to getting high is maybe going in a sweat lodge or something like that. I mean, and I don't have one handy, so
having a couple of espressos.
Oh yeah, add that into the mix.
What's up, Tarka Jedi? How's it going? Rough girl in the house. What's up? It's weird, definitely. Hello, Langley M. Neely. How are you? Question: has everyone watched the Romanovs? Speaking of Amazon Prime, I have not.
No,
I have not.
Sorry,
I don't know if that's going to be on my list or not. Mr. B Natural, hello. It looks interesting. I think it's an anthology series, Langley, right? No, I've been too busy watching Castlevania over again. I watched that again, and then episodes of Farscape, and then we're reviewing Venture Brothers season 1 on Sunday. So I'm rewatching that. It's not tough. It's a rough life, folks. Got to watch a good episode of Titans. That was nice. But then, of course, there's Doctor Who tomorrow to bring it all down. And it's we can start hitting the news and then chat a little bit. There's a couple of big things.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring something good in here. So Ewan McGregor has joined Birds of Prey, the movie, as Black Mask.
And it's going to be rated R.
Yeah, it's going to be a rated R movie. Hello, Marvel, you might want to actually hear about that. It's a rated R movie for, your characters. Just, I don't know. You might want to think about that one for a little bit.
Well, and Harley Quinn is the second bestseller behind Batman as far as merchandise is concerned.
Exactly.
So that is their number 2 character they're putting in a rated R movie. Now, Wolverine, I guess, is top 5 for Marvel, and they put him in a rated R movie, but that was Fox, not Disney. Yeah, they're gonna have to rethink that whole strategy. They won't, but they're gonna have to.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of interested now that Ewan McGregor's in this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I love his acting, and I don't believe he's ever played a villain before, a villain type. So I'm kind of, wanting to see how that transition's going to be for him.
Yeah, I mean, Black Mask is kind of more of a low-level street thug who thinks he's a mob boss.
Right.
He tries to play up being a mob boss, and it's kind of funny because he facilitates back and forth between the two. He's trying to act all classy, but then he comes off, street.
Yeah.
He's to Expanse fans, he's kind of like Marcos.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea what about. He's like Marcos. He likes, he plays both worlds. He's a good villain, though. It's a good villain for the Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And I hope he does it. I hope he's able to do it well. Because like I said, I don't think he's even been down that road of a thug. He always plays like a bumbling guy or a good guy. Now in Train Spotting, he wasn't a thug or anything. He just got mixed up in shit he couldn't handle. But this will be something, maybe this will be like a graduation for you, and maybe he'll start to get more devious parts, which would be good for him.
He played a pretty good part in Fargo. So he's capable. He's capable.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in seeing how that's going to play out.
Marcos and Naros. Yes, Matthew. You know who I'm talking about.
Tekkaman Blade says Black Mask is more of a mobster, and then Langley Neely counters, yep, he's a thug posing as a refined gangster. Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said everything I've seen. He's a thug that poses as a refined gangster. And
it's interesting to me with like, with all these people that are signing on to shows now, like Ewan McGregor. When I saw that, I thought, wait a minute, he just signed on to be Danny Torrance as an adult in Dr. Sleep with Bruce Greenwood. How? And then every time I turn around, we've got George R.R. Martin is doing something else. And then, the guy that runs CW, it might as well be the Berlanti network.
Berlanti, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
the Berlantiverse, yeah,
the Berlantiverse. How do they find time to do all this? I mean, I was thinking when I heard about you, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know the shooting schedules, but when the hell is he going to be able to do Dr. Sleep? When is that ever going to happen?
Dr. Sleep doesn't film until next year, I believe, is what it is for a 2020 release, from what I understand.
And when's Birds of Prey supposed to come out? 2022?
No, 2019.
Well, no, I meant 2020 is in the year, but 2019, okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably how he can do it, or I guess they just do double shooting. I'm just curious because it seems like everybody's got all these different projects they're shooting at the same time, and it's like, wow, I need whatever you're on.
Yeah, or I have it switched around. I can't remember.
There's that, but they've also tightened up the shooting schedules. I mean, that's what we saw with Venom. I was kind of amazed that they did Principal and Venom in like a month.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's insane.
Yeah,
and they pulled off like a watchable movie. So I think what they've done is really they've trimmed a lot of fat in Hollywood. They've gotten rid of a lot of excess lately because they've had to. So they don't have assistants of assistants anymore, and they don't have like 18 line producers. They've seemed to like they've just shaved where they need to shave down, and they're a little more coordinated on it because they're finding out it's saving them a ton of money, and they were basically overemploying people. And I don't know how the unions feel about this, but that seems to be what's going on because again, they're in competition right now. The movies are kind of bleeding right now. They're getting crushed by streaming services, and they're going to have to trim the fat or they're going to die.
Well, I think maybe they're trying to follow the models of the streaming services because they know they're in trouble. And maybe that's why they're doing quick turnarounds with principal photography and what have you, you know, because they have to turn out these products because streaming services can now. And that's where people are going.
Yeah, but streaming services are actually taking chances.
Oh, yeah. What is that? I don't know.
Yeah, and movies aren't at the moment. I mean, we're seeing this. I mean, you see what's on my list. There's a lot of remakes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Thank you,
$5 super chat. What's up? It's a shame we never get the real Black Mask on Gotham. Yeah, it is. But you know, it's also good that they probably kept it off, and we get a real one in Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
or in and then are we going to start seeing crossover on the DC universe? Are we going to see like a Kid Flash in Titans? Are we going to see a Black Mask in Titans? You know, I started thinking about that today. I'm like, they can't. I mean, they have a lot of characters they can do without crossing over into the CW stuff, but you know, the CW stuff's going to get in the way of the DC universe at some point.
No, they're just going to say it's different worlds, like they're doing right now.
It's going to get in the way. It's going to get away. Berlanti can't play one network off the other. Now, technically, they're both owned by the same company, so that helps. But they're going to have to. I don't know. It's going to be tough, especially when you're playing with the Titans and you're starting to get around areas that the CW shows have. Plus, the CW shows are getting long in the tooth, so I don't know how much longer they're going to be around. Probably a couple more years, maybe.
Well, Supernatural has anything to say. Probably going to be like another 10 years.
I highly doubt it.
CW's got nothing else going on. Seriously, they really don't. Yeah, and as Mako says, Arrowverse is very popular, Gary, and they are pumping out shows like crazy. Exactly. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean they're not popular. They actually are fairly popular for the CW and bring in money to them. So they're going to keep them as long as they can.
Oh, sure, but they have to do better. They can't be average forever. It's not a BBC show. Winking at you, Mako. Here, let's go to Arrows. So Legends of Tomorrow had its worst ratings ever.
I just want to say thank you to Joe for the $50 super chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joe.
Joe says, so when are you doing Farscape season 2 with the Giggle Girls, Viking Bitch and Feisty Fan, with special guest star Dennis as Sergeant Hatred? Just asking.
Damn, Joe. Well, after we do season 1, we got to do season 1 first. But that will be, well, I think we should do them every couple weeks, I would think. So you could see like Dennis is fangirling out on his CW shows again. So I'm going to just,
I'm not fangirling out. I'm just saying
fangirl. Here we go.
I'm saying the same thing and make it stand.
That's okay. Yeah. Here we go. Let's go to those, great ratings that Arrow has right now. 0.45. It is down 25% from the season premiere of last year. That is 1.4. That's 1.5 million viewers for a network. Now, if that was on cable, that'd be great, but it's not. So it had its worst premiere of its. So it's going downhill. I'm not saying it's dead. I'm not saying it's not popular. I'm saying it's got a couple more years, which is a couple more years than I thought it would have. I thought it would go. I didn't think Arrow would go 7 seasons, so I'm surprised. It's not going to go 10.
Compare it to Supernatural, which is actually CW. Well, actually, I take that back. Compare it to Riverdale, which is CW's probably most watched show.
I have no idea what CW's most watched show is, but that's just what it's, and it's not compared to Riverdale. It's compared to itself. So when they have a show out, they go off its own ratings. So if it is, they don't compare it to other shows. They compare it to other shows that are in their time slot. And CW regularly gets crushed in its time slot.
Oh, I know it gets crushed, but
they're usually last place.
And see what their ratings are getting.
What they do is they base it on, well, you're not getting the ratings your show got in season 1. It can still be better ratings than a lot of other shows, but you're not getting more ratings than you are in season 1. So we can't sell your commercial time for as much as we used to be able to. So therefore, it's not doing better. I don't make the rules, man. Okay.
No,
so,
I know. I'm not saying.
yeah,
I'm saying take a look at Riverdale. That's their highest watch show. You take a look at what their
just
ratings
enjoy
are for that.
Enjoy Arrow if you like it. It's going to be around for a couple more years, and that's it. It's not going to go past year 10. I promise you.
But it already sounds like Stephen Amell is sort of getting a little, I don't want to say tired, but I've seen some of the pictures he's tweeted out, and I think it's starting to take a toll on him. The physical stuff.
Sorry, I was just reading something in the chat. That's all. Slurmy Scott says, Dennis, a fangirl? This from a fanboy who goes kooky over Doomcock?
Wow.
Wow. It's like, okay.
Okay.
I support my friend Slurmy. Yes, Dennis is a fangirl.
Oh man, it just made me laugh. That's all it was. Brian Smart says DC.
Hey, Dennis has to have his fans too. I understand that. I don't get. I see, but I don't get butthurt. I don't get butthurt when
I'm not butthurt.
Oh no. Okay.
Brian Smart says DC ends the CW shows by doing a crisis storyline.
They're not going to cancel Arrow, man. Arrow's the best show ever. CW
I honestly
rules.
could take it or leave
Supergirl's awesome.
Let me finish what I was reading here, okay, Mr. Butthead. Brian Smart says DC ends the CW show doing a crisis storyline and starts alternate versions of DC streaming. Yeah, that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to end up doing the same thing Marvel's doing with Netflix. You know, they're going to pay them some money, not a lot of money because it's WB and they don't have a lot of money.
I just said the CW stuff is going to start interfering with the DC universe stuff. They're going to let it fly because it's made them a ton of money so far, and it's got their heroes out there, but now they can do their heroes better. And you know, the great thing about Berlanti, and I will say this is a good thing about him, is like the guy doesn't have this ego when it comes to creativity because he has no input whatsoever creatively. He is just like the money schmoozer guy. And as long as his name's on the top, I don't give a fuck. And actually we're getting better superhero shows, hopefully from the DC universe. And this is, I don't want to, you know, like I said in my recap, hope is not a strategy. We've got a little hope.
Okay.
But hope is not a strategy. And Doom Patrol was good, but Titans is largely still a crappy show. It's still a crappy show. Starfire is still a crappy character. I know on all the print, I'll quote unquote print internet media is going, well, she is by far the best character. I'm like, huh? Because what a great change to put a stick up her butt and make her judgmental and mean.
You do understand how that works, though, from the media, right? Certain parts of certain outlets get access to the bells and whistles from these shows. So they're not going to turn that down by saying, well, Starfire sucks. You know, that's how it works. You have these outlets that get primo access, and then the rest of the people get a little trickle here, a little trickle there. But those are the people that are going to be extremely vocal about how great a show is because they're the ones getting all the extra content, like the sneak peeks and things that no one else gets.
I want to say thank you.
Free DVDs, not even Blu-rays.
Well, I want to say thank you to Silhouetted Animator for the $5 super chat. Beast Boy got that Charlie Sheen tiger blood in the latest Titans.
Green tiger blood, yes.
Green tiger blood, exactly.
Winning.
Yeah.
Winning.
Winning.
Bring that back.
Where is Charlie?
God. He's never mind. I was going to say something very inappropriate.
That was an entertaining couple of years.
I rated myself in on that one. I was
Why?
like,
Truth Apocalypse.
It was going to go bad.
In Wisconsin. I like that.
Hope is a girl in Wisconsin.
Yes. You know, well, Netflix has a motto now, courtesy of John Oliver. There are no bad pitches.
Oh, man.
I don't think there is, really, to be honest with you. With you know, that's the bad part of the streaming wars is they're just saying yes to everything. Winning,
especially now that you know they've got a $2 billion influx from Disney for dropping their Marvel series that they have. I'm still going with that. I'm sorry, it looks like it completely, especially since the news that we have going on right now about Daredevil season 3 viewership.
Oh boy.
Which is down 57%.
Fuck down. And
season 2.
Yeah, 57% down. This is not good.
Now this is from Screen Rant. So
yeah, take it with a pinch. Okay,
but
a shaker of salt.
Grain of salt.
The source that they're citing, I don't know if they couldn't get in touch with SVOD, which is where Netflix does report. Maybe that's under wraps, but I do know Netflix started reporting their viewership through SVOD.
Yeah, they were just sharing some shows, but this is Jump Shot. This is the San Francisco company, but their analytics, they only get them. Well, I don't know. These numbers are insane, so I don't know. They're
every 2 weeks or
their
something.
Anonymized global panel tracks 5 billion actions a day across 100 million devices to deliver insights into online consumer behavior.
Algorithm City.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Word salad numbers. We're tracking you and we're watching you, Big Brother, whatever. They say that the most watched show on Netflix since 2016, and this is including Stranger Things, is Daredevil season 2.
Yep.
So, and apparently Iron Fist and Luke Cage had half of that in their first seasons. So that was them being successful, was half of what Daredevil season 2 did. Daredevil season 3 has done 57% of what Daredevil season 2 did. So it's still better than most, but it's way down in oh, sorry. Go on, Susan.
No, I was just going to say what they look at is exactly what you said. They're going to look at a companion to Daredevil, and they're going to take a show that costs the same amount of money to produce, the same amount to do a lot of things, and that's going to be like the benchmark. Now, it may be a show that isn't doing well, but if this had such high hopes and did so well in season 2 and there's a drop off, they can't, by 57%, they can't ignore that. But what's interesting is fans are even getting worried and saying, we've heard it's going to be canceled. Vincent D'Onofrio actually came on Twitter and saw a lot of the fan chatter and said, nope, it's not going to happen. It's not going to get canceled. But why would D'Onofrio say, yes, it's going to get canceled and show like he doesn't have faith in what he's doing? He may know, he may get the numbers, but I don't think actors do. It's all the producers that do, unless he's an executive producer, which I don't think he is. So, this does not bode well for Daredevil. I know you guys have called it, but that is huge. 57%, you can't ignore that at all.
No.
And it's screaming. And, the thing about is you can't now, say, well, we have to have butts and seats, because that doesn't matter for streaming, because you can watch it whenever you watch it. Now, the first week is critical, and that's where they're seeing this. So I don't know. It's very iffy whether there's going to be a season 4.
And also, as Truth Apocalypse reminds us as well, you couldn't hardly find Daredevil season 3. It was hidden. Usually it was right on the first page. I'm calling sabotage. Yeah.
Truth Apocalypse. That's I actually recorded a video on this, but I'm like, I'll save it for Friday. And that's what I said. I think it's ABC produced this series. They made this series. So Netflix doesn't really have a say in it. They just buy it. So, and I'm sure they could say like, hey, we want more of this. I don't know for sure. I'm guessing. All this is guessing and speculation. But we do okay in that department. So I'm thinking this is my tinfoil hat theory, along with Dennis's. They paid them off, which I can believe. I can absolutely believe is that they sabotage their own stuff by not putting the heroes in costumes, not being the full-fledged superhero, because I want
putting Jeff Loeb in production.
I want that on my streaming service. I want to have a real Iron Fist for the first time on my streaming service. Now they kind of let Daredevil out of the bottle, but then they reined him back in again. And that's where it makes no sense that Daredevil's not in a costume in the second half of the season. That is a creative decision made by, and I can't think the director or creator of the series. That's like a coach not putting in your best player in the sports ball, giving your best, giving yourself the best chance to win. You know, that's like putting in the backup quarterback, you know, when you have a healthy starting quarterback. It's stupid. So I don't understand why they did it, other than Marvel came down and said no costumes, and they can't be their full superheroes. And the data is there. Look at the end of every Netflix show of their most recent season. Each character is pretty much where they were at the end of season 1.
Yep.
Jessica Jones is drunk and miserable. Yes, she's having a nice dinner with the family, but she was kind of happy at the end of season 1. Luke Cage is a crime boss, so he's not a superhero. And Danny was a courier for the Iron Fist, for Colleen Wing. Daredevil is in black pajamas after going through a whole season going, you know, I should wear armor because I can get myself killed. I mean, it makes no sense. And his costume looked good. And, you know, the Defenders, I went back and watched an episode of the Defenders today. It was so freaking bad. Sigourney Weaver's character was so awful. So awful. And I love her. And it sucks to say that. It's, Jeff Loeb has got to go. Like Dennis said, this all lays at the feet of Jeff Loeb. And this kind of goes in with all these shows being announced for the Marvel streaming service that Kevin Feige is in charge of, not Jeff Loeb, which I think if you read the writing on the wall, I think we see what's going on here. As you do the math, they're going to finish up the Punisher. They're going to finish up Jessica Jones. They're going to bring the good stuff over to the Marvel or Disney streaming service, change what they need to change. And Kevin Feige being in charge of that is a good thing, I think, unless it's not rated R.
Yeah, because dude, we got a few. That's the thing that's also going to kill them and bite them in the ass. They're on a streaming service. You can do whatever you want with those characters. You don't need to play by, you know, these rules anymore. Of okay, it's R-rated or PG-13 or PG or anything like that. And Kevin Feige sticking to his gun, saying it's going to be PG-13. I think is going to hurt him in the long run, especially when we see when Birds of Prey comes out and it's going to be rated R, and it's probably going to be good. I you know, with who they're attracting, you know, in the roles and stuff like that. I'm just going to go on a limb here and say that it's probably going to be good. I haven't seen anything on it as of yet, but everything that's being set up for it so far, and that's going to hurt Marvel at that point too. Marvel's going to have to think about what they're doing. Marvel Disney.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that one. They need to rethink that. They can't bring in fucking Deadpool and PG-13, in which we're getting a big test now. The TV shows that are coming out are interesting. I also heard Hawkeye. So there's Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Loki, and then a buddy comedy of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I think will be great. Yeah. I think their little scene in Civil War was good.
That was the reason why. Yeah, it tested really well. So that's why they're doing the Falcon Winter Soldier TV series for the streaming service.
So are these prequels, Dennis? I mean, I didn't read up on them, so I don't know. Are these taking place prior to Avengers?
The Snap? We don't know.
Doesn't say.
It doesn't say. They just said it's announced. And from what I understand, after Avengers 4, this is when the streaming service comes out. And I think that's when all this stuff takes place, is after Avengers 4.
They don't even know for the Falcon and Winter Soldier if it's even being greenlit. They just know that it may be coming. They know Sebastian Stan is really wants it. He sees it as a buddy comedy, like from the 80s and 90s with Anthony Mackie. But it seems like Disney is really pushing to get Marvelized. They really want that entire universe.
Yeah, they do. Lubella says, I don't necessarily have faith in Kevin Feige. And, you know, I don't blame you. I mean, I do. But everybody has their run. You know, only people have a creative run. It doesn't last forever. And he's had one hell of a run. He does. If there's a Hollywood Hall of Fame or the Walk of Fame, he deserves his star and everything. He's done something magnificent. But I see possible chinks in the armor. I see things going down that could be a little bit disturbing. We'll see, but I haven't seen him do anything yet that would make me think, oh shit, this is going to suck. And maybe he's just helping the streaming service start out. Like, he's not going to be that involved. I just read it from an article that he was going to be more involved in the television, which is like not at all right now. So more involved might be him popping in once in a while, going change that, and then leaving.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
It could be like Berlante.
Exactly. You know, it's and we give Berlanti shit, but like the guy creatively doesn't fuck with any of his shows. He allows some of his shows to be different, and I gotta credit him for that. You know, I mean, he also says no to nothing.
Micromanage.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
And sometimes the point of it is that Berlanti, I will give him this. Yes, he's everywhere and we joke about it, but he understands delegation. He understands get the creative team in place, trust them with the material, and occasionally, like you said, Gary, pop in, but don't micromanage it. My fear is that Disney is going to get into it, and then we're going to see micromanagement because they can't leave their hands off anything.
No, okay, Disney is good at letting a company be autonomized for a little while. They're very good at it. They let Pixar go for a good long run but they're starting to fuck with them now.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to I think the reason they're probably the reason they haven't totally reeled Marvel in is Kevin Feige. I think Kevin Feige has actually been protecting Marvel Comics. Now, follow me down the rabbit hole on this one. He's been trying to, because if Disney's going to fuck with Marvel, they're going to fuck with Marvel, not with just parts of Marvel, all of Marvel, Marvel Comics, Marvel TV, Marvel anything. So he basically says and has said and went to war over it and won over a board member. Marvel's mine. I will take care of Marvel. So therefore, and he doesn't really mess with the comics, but he's protecting the comics by keeping Disney out of Marvel for now. The minute he's gone, they're in, especially to fix the comics because they're awful.
I agree with you. I see that coming. I see that maybe Feige is like the is like the dike in the dam, so to speak. And once he moves on or gets another more profitable venture, then I see Disney just coming in and stepping all over it, and it's not going to be a good thing.
No. And good night, Viking bitch.
Yeah, good night. And Fonobi. Fonobi went out as well.
Guys, take care.
Yeah.
So what happens, you get old, and I know it's. I'm right there with you guys. Trust me. It's. It's kind of interesting, and then we also have Jeff Loeb rearing his ugly head and hinting at a Cloak and Dagger Runaways crossover episode.
When oh my God, when I read that, I know because I remember you guys with Cloak and Dagger, but what killed me was the explanation of why they're going to do that, because apparently teenagers don't care about Iron Man or Daredevil, but they're going to care about two kids from Louisiana.
I know.
So let's make this happen. I love that decision making.
That is great. Wonderful logic, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Fueled by Coke. Thank you, everybody.
I know, right? It's like, oh my God, I'll never forget that really eloquent comment I got on how I don't understand the plight.
You weren't woke enough. That's right.
I wasn't woke enough for Cloak and Dagger because I have action figures on my wall. I obviously I'm a rich man and I can't identify.
You're the percent or the 1%.
Yeah, the 1% because that's right.
You're a rich white dude. You can't
I'm a rich white dude. That's it.
Rich old white dude. That's what it is.
I'm old. Okay, I'm definitely old. I'll give you that.
Because you don't look at comics on a Kindle or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling in the dough. I'm just burning money over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm really beginning to think with some of the news here that not only that news, but there was something else. Oh, well, we'll get to that because I have a whole thing on this something coming up. But
go for it.
God, the Meg 2. Okay, I mentioned the Meg 2 on another Facebook group, and they fucking went ape shit. Well, one guy did. He's like, "Oh, damn it, I want to see this," and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, but I don't. And, you know, when we're making decisions about a sequel, that the principal in it, Jason Statham, was pissed because they didn't get as visceral or as gritty as he thought they could. He wanted more blood. He wanted more like Jaws, but they gave like a comedy. So he was very vocal about that. But the reason why they're doing the Meg 2 is because the Chinese investors see a theme park.
Yep.
Now, come on. Really? Is there no one that has any sense? I think what happens in these meetings is I think somebody gets good Coke. There's a lot of shit flowing, like a lot of alcohol. Somebody was talking about the Meg 2. Yeah, it did do well at the box office for the first week, I believe. And then they mention a theme park in between snorting cocaine. Oh my God. Yes, this is a great idea. No, it's a horrible idea. Just stop, Hollywood.
Yeah, Matthew Mattson butt chugging, exactly. That's right.
It's time.
Yeah. Mako says, when will we get that movie from Idiocracy with the ass that farted all the time? Actually, it was the show Ow My Balls. That's what it was called. The TV.
That's funny.
I mean, I just don't understand the decision-making process that they go through anymore. There isn't one, and it seems like they're desperate. They're just so desperate to get anything that makes money.
Gladiator
and I
2?
understand that's how the world works, but come on.
You mean kind of like Gladiator 2?
Oh my God.
Avatar 2 through 15?
Yeah.
Titanic 2. We're going to get Titanic 2, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And like Dennis said, when he's like, well, we want to know how the corpse is rotting. Pretty much with Gladiator 2. And it's like, Ridley Scott, have you not learned anything from Alien? No.
He's gone. I'm sorry. This is going to be sad too. Since his brother died, he's gone fucking crazy. Like he's just trying to bury himself in work and stuff. And really
work.
Tired. Do something different.
Prometheus was ass, man. That was just complete and total ass. I can't watch that.
It's so much potential for some of these people, and it's like Gladiator 2. Okay, we're going to look at Lucius, the nephew. Why? Why are we doing this? I don't understand. I mean, the best gif I saw was from Movie Finobi with, "Are you not entertained?" No, we're not. That.
You know why? You know why Gladiator 2? That's the reason why.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Exactly. That was probably the pitch meeting, you know? Oh, Lord.
Worst sequel idea, History of the World Part 2. It kills the joke. Yes. Dude, it's the 10 Commandments 2. Okay. We're going to go back there and make some more. It's Jesus 2. I mean, like, I don't know. Where do you go? The Reckoning.
The Reckoning. Jesus is a badass.
Coming back and I'm pissed off.
Well, they actually did make that with God Christ. Who was the guy who played Marty McFly first before Stoltz? Eric Stoltz. It was a comedy, and they had a little bit about Jesus too. He's come back from the dead and he's pissed.
Oh my God.
And he's kicking ass on the street, and he's paired up with a rabbi.
Of course. And now that you've pitched that and put that out to the universe, next Coke party, that's coming.
No, they actually filmed this as a joke in some movie. It was a parody movie. I can't remember what it was. And it makes me laugh every time. You know, it pops up on TV every now and then, and I start laughing my ass off because I forgot about it.
Oh.
I still say we need to write our script for a parody movie on serious films called An Important Film.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to do this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We take every trope of an Oscar-winning film and mix it in. I mean, go there too. I mean, go like super un-PC. I like the most un-PC everything. Like,
and then we'll be on social media because we'll have that big fanfare where I'm leaving social media now because of the backlash to an important movie. You people aren't woke enough for this.
Yeah.
Lou Bella says, raise the Titanic. Yes, raise the Titanic. That really shitty movie.
After his 20, 30 years of Avatar, he's raising the Titanic. He's building it from scratch.
There was an actual movie called Raise the Titanic back in the 80s or 80s. It was the 80s, and it was with Jason Robards. No, it was an actual like thriller movie where they supposedly found that it was before they found the Titanic, before the oceanographer Ballard had found the Titanic. And there was a movie with Jason Robards, if I remember correctly, and it was that they had found it and they were raising it up from the depths by using these big balloons and stuff. Like it was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Michael Caine. Thank you, Mr. B Naturals. Michael Caine. That's right. That was in it because that was the time Michael Caine was doing every fucking movie he could because he owed money.
Raise the Titanic. I remember that movie. I do.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking.
This is before they knew where it was. You guys don't even. You young kids. There was a whole time where they had no idea. They never thought they would ever find it again. It was a big deal when they found it. That was a long time ago too.
That's when James Cameron discovered it.
James Cameron discovered underwater. Like he's the first one to discover. Yeah, he's the first person to see the ocean floor.
He discovered oxygen.
He discovered oxygen. Well, you know what? You know why he does that so much? I mean, any guy who's been married 18 times, it's like got a lot of ex-wives to get away from. Bottom of the ocean. That's where I'm going.
Thank you, Jeff, for the $5 super chat. Cocaine equals Battlefield Earth 2 with John Travolta again.
Oh no, thank you, but no.
As long as I can get Forrest Whitaker to come back too.
Forrest Whitaker, and as long as John Travolta did kind of act in that movie, kind of like he did in Broken Arrow, which is my favorite acting job by him. Don't fire at the nuclear weapons.
Oh man!
Come on, Broken Arrow. That was a tour de force,
horrible,
man. Tour de force. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that was a bad movie.
Cameron invented diving. He did, Langley. He did.
Yeah, people at SIO still bitch about him all the time. So he left his goddamn equipment to leak all over my floor. That's what I hear from him.
He must piss off all the people who've trained all their lives to study all that shit, and that just because that fucker has money, he just bought his way and like actually discovered things that people have been working on their entire lives, and he's like, I'm gonna go direct Avatar 5 through 20 now. See ya.
I'm just going to say there's like big wall pictures that were hung up for when he visited that are now squirreled away in the back of a lab that never gets opened up anymore. That's all I'm going to say. I know where they're at because I go into that lab every now and then.
You got to walk off with one, man.
No, they're screwed into the wall and everything.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, they're like glass and all that.
Screwdriver.
No, they're glass. Trust me, people would, they would miss it. And
I don't know. So? I think when he reached the height of douchebaggery for me was, when he went on the Oscars, I'm the king of the world. I'm like, I hate this man.
You totally need to see Future Man. There's a whole episode about James Cameron because they go to the future a little bit, and there's a James Cameron episode which is the funniest fucking thing you will ever see. They make fun of it. Trust me, they do everything they can about him, and it's really good. That's all I'm gonna say.
James Cameron, every time people come out against him, and like there's things about the guy that are totally annoying, but every time he makes something, he just makes fucking piles of money.
Exactly.
The last one I'm dumbfounded by. Avatar is like a mystery to me. I don't believe it made the money it did. Like I said, I was in LA in opening weekend watching his movie in empty theaters. And I'm like, where is everybody? So nobody in LA watched it? Or, I mean, okay, whatever. That's fine. I like most of his other movies. I fucking love Terminator. I love, he's a great director. I still wish he would have taken a crack at Spider-Man. Yeah, I know the script was fucking crazy, but I still think it would have been good. I think he writes crappy scripts and then he goes out and makes good movies. I don't think he gives a shit about a script. I think he just needs an outline and then goes on and makes what he's going to make because he's insane. He's absolutely insane, but like that's a perfect director, to be kind of insane.
Oh yeah, you have to be. And since people have been waiting for it, we're gonna dive into it. Why not? So, Penny Dreadful. It has a sequel finally coming up on Showtime, and it's going to be set.
Kind of.
in 1938 LA. That's Los Angeles for you at home. Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. Now we talked about this in the Patreon hangout this morning. So you know what a penny dreadful is, right? What it's based off of? It's like a little
Pulp,
it's like a time
pulp
novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was for a specific time.
Yeah.
Or the Victorian era, and the era with the Greg and Y'all Theater that they showed in the first season. So there were no penny dreadfuls in 1938 Los Angeles. Now, what's going to be I mean, I know you talked about about this stuff too, Susan. I love Penny Dreadful. I thought it was a good show. Kind of a weird ending, but I thought it was a really good show. What has this got to do with anything Penny Dreadful other than it's called Penny Dreadful?
You're exactly right. Because my first question was, I can't remember, but did Penny Dreadful go off the air because they wanted to or because they were canceled?
Yes.
Yes, they were canceled.
We never heard, right?
Yeah.
And that just boggled my mind that they would then come back and do another, a sequel of it. But they're setting it in 1938, and much like sequels in movies that really don't have anything to do with the original premise, that's what they're using to lure the viewers in. And it's going to be an infusion of supernatural elements. It deals a lot with the Mexican influence, Mexican American folklore, which today is, the day of the All Souls Day, which is the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And this sounds a lot to me like the Fred Ward movie, Cast a Deadly Spell.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
And I think this is kind of what they're going for. They're going for a supernatural element. And I don't want to say it because it's the channel and somebody got pissed off the last time when I brought it what it's about. But this is what it's about. It says it in Deadline. They want to explore real world issues and social consciousness. And that's what they're going to do with this. And they're just going to have a supernatural spin on it.
Tyon Rager actually brings up a good point. From what I saw of Penny Dreadful, I thought it looked like a well-done version of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And yes, if that's kind of what I was looking at too. You take literary characters and you're making them real, if you will, and putting them in this world. And if you do the same thing for 1938, you could put in people like, excuse me, H.P. Lovecraft, who's real, but you can also bring in like their counterparts too, that they're writing about. And have these fictional characters be brought into the 1938 LA, which I guess they're not going to do.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's going to end up being, and I hate to say this, it's going to end up being supernatural with a message. That's what I'm getting from that Deadline piece.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking for that because I read it this morning and now I can't find it. Where it specifically said that, where it's going to deal with basically race relations in the 1930s. Because that's what I want out of my horror and entertainment.
Yes.
Thank you. They sucked back then. Yeah, I got that. Showtime has set a Penny Dreadful sequel. The pay cable network has greenlit Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. This is the network that canceled Ash versus Evil Dead.
That was Starz.
This is Showtime.
Oh, is this Showtime? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Writer and executive producer John Logan, who returns in the same roles. He is joined by Michael Aguilar, who will executive produce with him. Production is expected to begin 2019. A spiritual descendant. Oh, I love it when they say that.
Yeah, that
story
has nothing to do with the show.
Exactly.
We're using the name so you will come and watch it.
A spiritual descendant of the story set in Victorian era London, the next chapter will employ a new vision, new characters, and storylines. It opens in 1938 Los Angeles, a time and place deeply infused with Mexican American folklore and social tension, rooted in the conflict between characters connected to the deity Santa Muerte and others allied with the devil. Penny Dreadful City of Angels will explore an exciting mix of supernatural and combustible reality of that period, creating new occult myths and moral dilemmas within a genuine historical backdrop. Penny Dreadful City of Angels will have social consciousness and historical awareness that will I'm starting to be that we chose not to explore in Penny Dreadful London storylines, Logan said. Why would you say that?
I don't know. I mean, you could have explored if that was the original premise of Penny Dreadful, because it's ripe in London. With Jack the Ripper and all those times, there was definite makings for what they're trying to do here. But they chose not to because they wanted to focus on the horror element. But I guess what happened was, and this is just me spitballing, we see the success of Get Out. We want to duplicate some Jordan Peele, Elvis dust. So this is what we come up with. That's what I'm thinking happened.
I totally agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
I 100% agree with that. We will now be for one, I watched Penny Dreadful, and they did deal with some of that stuff. Was I wrong there, guys? I mean, they didn't dive into it deeply, but they talked about some of the politics of the day, and most definitely. We will now be grappling with specific historical and real-world political, religious, social, and racial issues in 1938. So they pitched a show and somebody said no. And they went, wait a minute. What if we put Penny Dreadful on it? And then they said yes. And
that's never happened before.
Never happened before. Wasn't there a Crow City of Angels?
Yes.
Yes, there was.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. I just All right. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Penny Dreadful. Hey, this still could be good, but I mean, what drew us all to Penny Dreadful? It had Frankenstein, and it had fucking Frankenstein, and I'm forgetting her name now. She was so awesome. Eva Green, yeah. Eva Green, yeah, she was so fucking brilliant. Josh Hartnett was good in it. It was a good show.
Timothy Dalton
was great in it.
Yeah. That's why he signed up for Doom Patrol, because he's like, crap, I don't want to be in that Penny Dreadful. The dreadful Penny Dreadful sequel.
So what in the hell is the connective tissue besides just the name? Do you think they're going to do anything to connect it, or
it doesn't speak of time travel, so I don't know what they're planning on doing. If they do a Descendant, I don't know, but the only connection I can see from it is just the name. And we've seen that before with tons of things like True Detective. Detective used the name, but season 2 was not season 1, and season 3 is not 1 and 2.
Yep.
No.
Anthology series. I am going to check out season 3. I'm curious.
Yeah, so am I. Of True Detective,
True Detective, yeah.
It looks good. It's kind of got that thriller aspect that I like, psychological, that stuff.
It's got a great actor in there too.
Oh yeah.
Ali, I'm never gonna say his first name because I'm gonna murder the crap out of it. But yes, his last name is easier. Ali.
Yeah.
Yes. This show, I don't know if I'm gonna see it or not. It that's not what I go to my shows for. I don't need social allegories told through horror when I can just open my eyes and look outside. I live in a pretty big city.
You can do it, and you can do it well. George Romero is the progenitor of that. Night of the Living Dead had so much more going on in it. But how do we remember Night of the Living Dead? Not because it was talking about the politics of the time or the Vietnam War. We remember the kick-ass zombies, the special effects, what was happening. But yeah, there was a message there. But Romero didn't hit us over the head with it.
No. And same thing with his sequel to that, not Day of the Dead, excuse me, Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
Yeah, where the whole consumerism thing, which again didn't hit you over the head with it.
No, You just looked at it and went, these dumbasses are stuck in a mall. What, you know?
Exactly.
It's great. You didn't get behind it. You kind of got it. You knew what he was getting for, but it wasn't like George Romero's hitting us over the head.
Well, and this stuff works in movies. Okay, that it works in a movie where you see it once, you go, huh, okay, yeah, like Get Out, like, but Get Out the series. Would you? I mean, a great example of that is The Purge. I can understand I mean, I do not like these movies, but I can understand the first one being successful because it's just this ridiculous thing that we're going to show and it's political. But a series of it, I tried, and I'm like, oh no, it's literally
it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Yeah, I was watching it more for the kitsch, and I couldn't even watch it for that. I was trying to, and I was just like, man, this is really fucking bad.
But yet it got a green light.
So whoever watched my hangout on Patreon this morning, I didn't know this was happening. So I saw on the left-hand side of one of the articles I was doing, I saw Penny Dreadful come back, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like super excited. And then I read the article, and they saw my excitement just deflate. I'm just oh, and then I got to the socio-political part, and I was like, oh, I lose. Whatever. I was excited. I was like, man, that show, it definitely like left too early. I've been trying to figure out, while we were talking here, I gotta turn my camera off real quick. Is like, why did it get canceled? Has anybody in the chat read why? Was it just a budget thing, or I think it was budget?
It was probably budget. It's usually, I got to season 3 like everything else.
Yeah, season 3, we're done.
Season 3, kill it with fire. The villagers came out with the pitchforks and torches.
So. Yeah. I mean, that's why I keep on saying, let's just go with 3 seasons for every show now, because that's pretty much what's happening. And you fall in love with these shows because it takes a while to get into a show. And if you go in with the expectation of 3 seasons is all I'm getting, then we won't have this glut and having to save shows and budgets and all that shit. Just plan for it. If it's good, see if you want to extend it. If not, 3 is a good number. Just get out.
Yeah.
So according to this interview that I found on Variety, it's John Logan. It's what you just said. He said it was, we don't have to make shows for 7 seasons anymore. This one was built for 3.
Yep.
And they probably did it like this. They probably went, let's give you a couple of seasons, see how you feel about it, Mr. Writer. And he probably felt like that's all the story he could tell. I could believe that.
Yeah.
I could absolutely.
And if that's your reason for getting out, I'm all for that, because there's nothing worse than seeing a show that you liked linger like a lame animal. And just, it whimpers, and it's like, please just take this off the air now. It's no longer effective.
Coral. Sorry.
According to Jen.
Yeah. So let's get to the chat there. Yeah.
Langley M. Neely says, my college girlfriend is one of the stars of Get Out. She's about to star in the 2nd season of Counterpart. Betty Gabriel, my first real love.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. I remember you telling us that. That's brilliant. She's like a smart girl, like getting into Get Out and then Counterpart. That's that's back-to-back home runs.
Nice. Hidden Wiki says, according to my grandmother, who is no longer with us, 1938 sucked. She was pretty cool. I'll take her word for it.
Yeah, according to my grandmother as well, which was the tail end of the Depression. And my grandma lived in a 1-bedroom house on a farm that she owned but couldn't work. So it was just big patches of dirt because she had 2, toddlers there, because her man went and died on her. You want to hear about a tough life? Yeah, my dad grew up poor.
What was different about the Depression and the Greatest Generation, as they've been dubbed, is we didn't hear about it because there was no social media and there wasn't people whining about what a tough time they're having. They were just like, yep, this sucks. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, they're way too busy starving. you know? Yeah. 1938. Heard it sucked.
Yeah, Krista says, if I'm going to watch an LA-based supernatural, I'll stick with Constantine, City of Demons.
There you go.
Yep.
Shit, I'll watch Supernatural before I watch Penny Dreadful City of It. And that's not shade on Supernatural. I plan on watching all 35 seasons of it someday in my retirement. But
yeah, the first 5 seasons are actually good because that was what it was planned for. And then after that, it's like, oh man, this keeps going and they start making fun of it in the show that it keeps going on that long. That's how bad it gets, man.
When your show becomes a Scooby-Doo cartoon, literally, and
it's time to stop.
That was actually pretty good. That was pretty fun, actually. That Scooby-Doo episode.
Without having watched the last 10 seasons, have they done like a secret twin brother or a coma? Has somebody been in a coma?
Wait a minute.
I believe so, yes.
Something where there's a timeline thing now where one of them is in a different era, like the 30s.
They've done that too, where they've gone back in time to the 50s, if I remember correctly, it was Dean. He went back and met his mother.
Okay.
Who was actually part of the whole Hunter Society. It wasn't his dad. His dad actually married into the family, and that's how, because we always thought the dad was the Hunter. And it's like, no, Mom was in the Hunter family. Yeah. Until we meet Grandpa and all this kind of stuff. It was actually interesting. So they did a good job with that one. Thank you.
Stuck in an elevator?
I'm sorry?
They get stuck in an elevator?
I don't know. They might have.
Have they brought in a baby? That usually ends the series, so they probably haven't done that.
No, I haven't seen that yet. Thank you, Silhouetted Animator, for the $5. Speaking of City of Angels and Supernatural, Lucifer needs a little bit of the latter in season 4 and beyond.
I think it will get it, Silhouetted Animator. I think going to Netflix will do nothing but help that show. And everything I've heard and read is they are... fundamentally, they're going to be the same show that they were on Fox. It's still going to be somewhat procedural, but they're going to go way darker and rated R. So I think that'll be fun. I will check it out. I didn't hate that show. It was just okay. I mean,
Philip A. Demick says, ironically, last night's Supernatural was the best one in years. It was a slasher flicks in a comic shop.
Ooh, maybe I should watch that one.
Interesting. I might have to watch that one myself. And yes, Wellington Smithopolis, we were talking about the animated episode, the Scooby-Doo animated episode that they did, which I thought was pretty funny. It just made me laugh. They do these episodes that are just completely tongue-in-cheek, and they know it's tongue-in-cheek, and they're having fun with it. And you could tell they're just having fun at this point because it's the show that will not die.
Yeah.
And so, like, shit, what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's do something that makes fun of everything. And that's what they do. And they get away with it. So,
yeah, more power to them. Like I said, I plan to catch up someday on that show. It just got out of control. And I'm like, it's still going. So, I mean, catching up, it's hard.
You remember Jensen Ackles was up for the Captain America role. And the reason why he wasn't able to go in was because, they started filming the series They started early on the series of Supernatural to keep him from going in and auditioning for the role of Captain America.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was kind of a weird thing.
Okay. It's probably been okay. I mean, Chris Evans is good, but subtly always works more effectively than a slap in the face. It's a pinch of salt versus a spoonful, says the chef, Brian Smart, the chef with the wrench. What's up, Brian Smart? Good to see you, man.
Nice, very nice. Who else do we have here? Tarka Jedi says, even though it's a touch footy, I always fall over. Physics doesn't seem to help. See you Sunday. Night, Tarka Jedi, or morning.
Physics.
Good night, Tarka.
Good something, yeah. May your toilet flush the right way, because he's in Australia. The left way.
Yeah, they say it's an old myth that it goes
urban
in the opposite
legend.
direction.
I have no idea. I'm not there.
I don't either.
Yes, I was blurry, Mecco. I fixed it.
James Hardy says Supernatural is still going because everyone wants to be their cast and crew. Also, Dean didn't go back to the 30s. He just dressed like that for some reason. No, he went back to the 50s is where he went back to, or the 60s. I can't remember which one it was. So, and Oh wow. Langley Neely says, "Oh wow." Ackles was also runner-up for Clark Kent on Smallville too. Guy will never be a superhero. Huh? That's right. He was also. He ended up being Brad, Lana Lang's boyfriend on Smallville, and then he was written out of the show, going to Afghanistan because that's when that all started happening. That's right. I forgot about that. Because he was the one who tied Clark up onto the post and spray painted the S on his chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep reading, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm there. I was just actually going to go to another story here.
Let's read some more chat first.
You want to read some more chat? All right. We'll read some more chat then.
I'm trying to. Somebody said they sent me a tweet, and I'm trying to find it, but I can't.
Okay.
Tarka
Jedi says, "We are all scientists versus engineers. Unfortunately, the engineers are the way to fit and train way too hard to crush us." Okay. Unfortunately, the engineers are way too fit and trained. Okay, way too hard to crush us. Got it. Mage Gray Wolf, excuse me, says, "Dennis, I watched through Sabrina. It started as Sabrina the Woke Witch, but it got better by the 3rd or 4th episode. I'm gonna have to side with you on that show." Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually I think I'm on episode 6 at the moment, and I'm enjoying it for the most part. It's not bad. There's still some things that are thrown in here and there that are kind of questionable, but it's finding its footing, and it's actually got some good horror elements to it as well. I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. You're over it already. I Cthulhu says, "At Susan Layton, doesn't it seem strange that we used to get dozens of episodes a year, but now you might get 12?
And I replied, yes, apparently creativity has a shelf life in Hollywood.
All right, so we got to catch up on some super chats that we have missed. We have missed many.
Did I miss some super chats?
Yeah.
I got Silhouetted Animator, and then I missed the other one from Silhouetted Animator for $5. Yeah. New Star Wars Episode 9 reportedly viewed as course correction.
Yes, and there's supposedly a scene of Darth Vader in it, and so J.J. Abrams is actually leaking like spoilers because he's usually pretty good, and plus this is all being filmed on a closed set, so it's really hard to get that stuff out. So they must be leaking stuff out. I can see it being a course correction. Hard to course correct on your final movie of a trilogy, though.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do that. Hey, more power to him. I could give two fucks about Star Wars. Sorry.
Yeah, the only thing I read about it was there was some early script review, what little script there is, and people are saying it's Return of the Jedi. Kind of like what he did with the first one was New Hope. Now he's doing Return of the Jedi.
Hey, there's no way they can work with these characters. Listen, they've ruined one of the greatest characters in film. They like ruined him forever. I mean, not just like, oh, we can forget about it. No, he retroactively did damage. He sucked on Manatee Booby. So there's no coming back from that. It's done, you know.
Mako says, "Well, there'll be a scene where Darth Vader milks something or someone."
Probably someone.
Tekkaman Bald says, "So what will they replace the Ewoks with? Porgs. They already did that. Yeah." Apple Crow, could someone high up please publicly state that JJ has no new ideas? He's never had a new idea.
He's a copycat. He's a mimic.
Yeah,
he's an absolute mimic. So what he does is he's really stylized. The lens flare thing, definitely his. That is definitely his. But the Dutch angle thing, no, it is not. And everything else, he's just pined off a little bit. He's a talented person, but he's not an innovative person at all.
Tyon Ranger says, "I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?"
Oh.
From, Meet the Parents.
I was thinking
Robert De Niro.
I was thinking more of the Kingpin milking kind of, but
yeah, all I heard was Robert De Niro's voice. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Can you milk me?
Mako says, though sometimes it's better to just suck off the nipple directly.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, just drink straight from the bottle. Exactly. Yes, Wellington Smithopoulos. He is a mimic with millions of dollars. Millions of our dollars is what he said. Not mine. I really don't go out there and see his movies. I don't actively seek them out because, yeah, they suck. Same thing with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is the same kind of director. He really just mimics things. Sean Full Dark Daredevil canceled? Not yet. It's getting close. But...
if we do the math, it's probably going to get canceled.
Once what is it? Jessica Jones comes out next, or is it Punisher that comes out next?
Punisher comes out next. Jessica Jones is still in production. Punisher has wrapped, so it should be February, March.
When Punisher comes out, that's when we'll hear of Daredevil's cancellation, right? That weekend or thereafter. Because that's when they seem to do it, is they wait until they have released their newest series, and then they cancel the one right before it. That just came out. Tyon Ranger says Dawn of the Dead and 300 were the only ones of Snyder's I liked. Yeah, but he cribbed both of those from better movies and a comic that was basically a storyboard. So
that's not cribbing another movie, though.
Not cribbing a movie. He used a storyboard. Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, we're talking about taking from other movies in film. That's you're mixing your.
Well, Dawn of the Dead, he did take from a better movie.
Yeah, but we're talking about style. So J.J. Abrams copies badly Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Okay. So Zack Snyder, he has his own style. That's his own unique style. Some people don't like it. You could not like it.
Yeah, the speeding up and slowing down.
He's got his own style. I like Watchmen. I think it's a very good movie. I like the style it's done in. It just came out probably a little too soon. People can get mad at the ending. I don't care. It's an adaptation. It's not the real deal. He did everything's perfect. Rorschach was fucking perfect. But yeah, no, his DC stuff did suck. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. Let me go. So Sean Full Dark with Daredevil, it lost 57% of their interest in the show throughout the internet dropped 57%. We can't even say it lost 50% in viewership. That's a guess by a data company. Basically, 57% less people are talking about the show than were in season 2 came around. The reasons for that was it took 2 years off. Defenders sucked. There's been 7 Marvel shows now on Netflix, believe it or not. And most of them have sucked or been boring. And that's eroded the audience to nothing. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, when you're not consistent like the movies are, and people have to sit there for the long haul and they're longer than the movies, and you don't pay off on it, or your characters just end up back at the beginning of where they started off. It's not good.
Brian Smart thinks Joss Whedon started the lens flare. I don't know. And I was just kind of pulling that out of my ass. I have absolutely no idea who started the lens flare. I think
it's been earlier.
The technology came around. It was right before
Michael Bay
came out. So I would probably say it was Michael Bay. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I know the technology to do that was from that time. And what J.J. Abrams does is he probably gets the first crack at the good technology. So
there was a 3D program that actually you were able to do lens flares pretty easily, and I can't remember what it was now because we used to use it in school all the time. And we're like, look, we're doing a J.J. Abrams. You do a lens flare. Yeah,
but his name's associated with but I honestly don't know who started it. I was just trying to throw him a bone. I don't think he's the one thing he was good at was the Alias. He's good at starting stuff. He's very good idea man. But yeah, you got to be able to finish something.
And Alias is coming back.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Well, without Jennifer Gardner, who's pissed about it.
Well, it's not going to do well. It did well because of Jennifer Garner. That's why it did well.
It's going to piss off the 3 people that went and saw Peppermint. That's all it is.
The 3. Oh, you mean her version of Taken?
No, the Death Wish.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all interchangeable.
It's all the same thing. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Mike Sider, go back and watch the beginning there.
What did it say?
Daredevil canceled?
Yes. We're just going to say yes. And by the time the podcast is over, it could be.
It could be. Yeah, we never know. No.
And then Vincent D'Onofrio will tweet at us. Nope.
Nope. I saw that tweet and I started laughing. I'm like, okay, like man. All right, sure. Man. Akira Prime says, speaking of Michael Bay, Bad Boys will be in production soon. Actually, it already is in production. Bad Boys 3. They tweeted out them being Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, the first picture on set. Yes.
What are they? Is this going to be another mentor-mentee? Because Martin Lawrence is 53. Will Smith is 50 now.
Yeah.
Come on.
See, they need to have Danny Glover come in.
Oh,
and just call it Bad Boys 3. We're too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
I'm 49. I'm going to go start my action movie career. Are you kidding me?
That's how it starts, Gary.
Action beard.
Start training now. And then by the time you're in your late 50s, you're ripe to become Liam Neeson.
Yes.
That'll happen.
I will do the sequel to Taken, Given.
Oh, man.
Too many jokes there. You can take it from there. Langley asks, is Alias coming back to ABC? I would assume so.
Probably. More than likely.
If it even gets to that stage.
Yeah,
they're just talking about it.
They're just talking about it. They're spitballing. They're doing a line of coke. It's like, how about Alias?
they've been trying to get Bad Boys. Is Bad Boys 3 actually happening? Or
they just tweeted out. I think it was like 2 days ago. A picture of them being Martin Lawrence and Will Smith on Twitter of them on set. The first picture of them on set.
The expendable avocado toast. The avocado toast will be like my thing. In the 70s, all the badasses had a thing. Like like fucking Kojak. Like, but did he have lollipops or some shit like that? Yeah.
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, baby? I'll have some avocado toast in my Columbo jacket. I got one more question for you. You feel lucky. No.
Beretta had his cockatoo.
Yep.
Remember?
That's right. The fucking 70s. Everybody had like a bitchin' car and a thing.
Yeah.
And that's your thing, is the avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
I have the Ferrari.
I'm going to come back as an action hero. I'm already training. I'm going to come back, and my series is going to be called Canceled. That's what mine is going to be. It's going to be me being pissed because they're canceling every show that I produce.
You're the canceler.
That's going to be my thing. Yeah.
Susan comes in, blows a bunch of people away, and she goes, "You've just been canceled."
And so, here's my tagline.
Kojak was big in Germany, probably because there was some weird fetish with bald guys. German guys are weird. Oh, I get very aroused when I see the Kojak, but I imagine him dressed in the leather. Makes
You're aroused. You should feel my nipples.
Touch my monkey.
Oh my God.
I feel like the little girl in spring. Attacker Man Bald. Yes, I do remember the Kojak remake on USA. That was fucking horrible. It lasted like 3 episodes, I think, something like that. It was really bad.
Was Telly in that shit?
No, he was dead by this point. He was already long dead by that point. Yeah. Yeah, it was just bad. Yeah, Starsky and Hutch had Huggy Bear, not Snuggy Bear. Brian Smart, Huggy Bear.
Yeah. Snuggy Bear was a different Starsky.
Yeah, that's Snuggy Bear. I think is that creepy thing that comes in commercials and haunts you in your nightmares.
Your dreams.
Hi, I'm here to freshen up your clothing while you sleep.
Where is the money, Lebowski?
Or Lilas Lebowski, we believe in nothing. Peter Stamari's great role in that one too.
Oh my God. So ahead of its time, that fucking movie.
It was.
And
dude, the rug just tied everything together.
so a sequel to Eraser, yes.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Oh my god. So we have some DC Universe news.
Think about Telly Savalas in leather.
Oh, that's gonna haunt me.
Not coming out of my brain right now. That's
wow. You know who he's related to? Jennifer Aniston.
Telly Savalas?
Yeah, Telly Savalas was related to Jennifer Aniston. In fact, he was her godfather. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's very weird. I know. It was one of those things I found out about too. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently she's Greek. Who knew? So
Aniston? Yeah.
I know.
Not it vibe off that, but
they changed that name. Yeah.
It has to be changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they changed that name. And speaking of changing, no.
Good segue.
Naomi Watts is going to star in the Game of Thrones prequel.
God.
Jet Girl herself.
Jet Girl. I know Jet Girl. I loved her as Jet Girl. I did. Yeah. I like that fucking movie.
I do too.
I love Tank Girl. And it's a great comic too. You know, it's too early to tell. I mean, I don't know what they're going to cast her as. Like, she couldn't be we talked about this a little bit. She's not going to be. She's a socialite, but like, what family is she from? Like, is it going to be she can be a Stark? They can't be a Lannister, because that's before their time.
It's a so it's supposed to be during the Age of Heroes or something like that.
Yeah, so it's thousands of years before the Stark. So there's certain family lines it can't be. The Stark family is around at that time. There are Valerian families she could be, but she's blonde. But I guess they could dye her hair and make her a Stark. Yeah. Starks aren't known to be socialites, though. I mean, they are an old
Targaryen.
Targaryen's too early. Targaryens weren't around. The Valerian freehold wasn't around, or it was in its early stages at that point. I don't know if they had even. Did they discover the dragons? Because the Valerian freehold was based on a bunch of sheep herders who basically discovered dragons. Because where the Valeria was, it's gone in the time of Game of Thrones. There's 14 volcanoes, and inside the volcanoes there was dragons. They learned how to tame the dragons, and then it goes from there. So I don't think it's that. But we're not. No, she could be a lot of things. She, could be a whole different family. She could be from the Riverlands. It doesn't. There's a lot of old families. She could be a green hand. From the. I don't even get into the lore on this thing. I could be here forever.
It's too late already. Keep going, man.
Well, she can't be a Lannister, okay? Because the Lannisters aren't around at this time. The Lannisters basically, they have a whole song about it. They took over a castle. They pretty much gutted and erased a family from the lands and took over their place. So the reigns of Castamere, and before that, there was a Lannister. Lannisters are kind of a fucked up family. They kind of subverted their way into lordship, anyway. But it legitimately came theirs. They didn't conquer somebody. They more tricked somebody. That's the lore. So even the lore in Game of Thrones isn't for sure. They always talk about it. Well, it's just lore, and they're not even sure on their time. Some maesters say it's 4,000 years. Some maesters say it's 10,000 years. Who knows who she's going to be? I don't think she's going to be a Stark.
Mako says, when do you think they'll announce Idris Elba will be in the show too?
Idris Elba will be a Stark. They will announce him tomorrow.
It'll be a press conference, of course.
Joe says, I bend the knee for Daenerys. Thank you, Silhouetted Animator. $2. Naomi Watts as the Night's Queen.
That would be cool.
Interesting.
She wouldn't be saying a whole lot, but
She
Now, the
doesn't need
Night's
to.
Queen was she was from the lands of always winter, and she fell in love with the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, which were around back then. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the. No, that wasn't Torn Stark. Who was the guys? Come on, help me. I'm brain farting now. Who was the Lord? I'm talking to the chat. Who was the Lord? So, where's Philip A. Demick? He'll know.
I think he might have already bowed out.
Yeah. Right when I need you. Who was the Lord? Who was the Stark Lord during the Long Night? During the events of the Long Night?
Langley M. Neely says, am I the only person that's ever had the crazy notion of what the world of Westeros would look like 2,000 years later, like a sci-fi future set spinoff? Insane, I know.
I have thought about that, Langley, a lot, actually. I think it would be fun if we got to see futuristic Westeros. And yeah, we did kind of a sci-fi fantasy. I think that'd be cool.
Mako says,
Bran the Builder. No, that was before that. Bran the Builder actually built the wall. Well, yeah, no, that's right, Mako, because Bran, the wall came up after the Long Night. So are they going before when the wall was put up? That's
probably.
Interesting. Yeah. But again, that's a legend within the story. They don't really think Bran the Builder was, well, some don't think he was real. So, because they think Bran the Builder also made Storm's End. They credit way too much stuff. And then there's Garth Greenhand. And yeah. So we're getting in it's the age of heroes we're in.
Silhouetted Animator says Brandon the Breaker.
Same thing. He's called a bunch of things. George R. R. Martin is not light with his lore. He gets into this shit. This is why it takes a long time for him to write his books. Now, he's not Tolkien-esque. He's close. I think Tolkien still gets a little more detailed than GRRM does, but it's still pretty good.
Tekkaman Bald says Bran was an alien.
I'm not saying it was aliens,
but it's aliens.
Yeah. He used alien tech to build everything.
What's up, Saquist? How's it going?
Tyon Ranger says his name was Hadrian and he was Roman.
I'll be when I'm gonna reread Game of Thrones and the World of Ice and Fire before Game of Thrones start. I'll be all back up to date on that. My memory is not what it used to be. Robot Bran is
not as easy on the colon as regular Bran is, but that's a different thing altogether. I'll be here all week. Thank you very much.
That's why you got to workshop your comedy sometimes.
That's why I paused on that one. I paused to let it sink in.
He tests his joke on Pepper. So
I didn't. She was asleep, actually. She's actually looking at me right now with this look of, you went with that? I did. Sorry.
I test my jokes on my wife and I get the same response. That's not funny. But she thinks I'm funny. So, there you go.
Oh, God. So a little bit more of the chat here. What do we got here? See, Langley Neely thought it was funny.
That's sympathy, guys.
And Mako thought it was funny.
Don't encourage them.
Apple Crow says, if it makes you feel any better, Dennis, I almost went there. Thanks for taking the bullet. You're welcome, man.
Hey, those who try the most fail the most. Those who try the most fail the most. It's all good.
Yeah, I almost went with, Robot Bran has half the fiber of the regular Bran, but I went with the one. Yeah. There you go. You got both of them. Langley M. Neely says Dragon Clones.
So are there still White Walkers? Is there still Walking Dead? And can I get rid of those fucking zombies? Yes, there's still White Walkers. The Long Night was the last time they showed up.
It's like herpes. It just keeps
it's
flaring
kind of
up
like herpes. It just flares up. Yeah, every 10,000 years. So it's God herpes.
It's God herpes. Yes. Exactly. It infects the land.
Yes.
Just flares up.
It's Hermes, not herpes. Air.
My bad joke. Truth Apocalypse says, before you know it, they will remake Rocky. Oh, wait.
Oh,
oh, that's pretty funny.
In Westeros 2,000 years ago, they had holograms and spore travel. Duh, says Mike Cedar. Yes, and planks of wood could act. Yeah. Oh boy, good old Star Trek Discovery. My God, like stupid news comes from that thing like on a daily basis now. I can't even keep up with the stupid news. I was just going to do a coalition of like all this dumb shit, but every time I start a video, something new happens. It's funny. It's really funny. The latest one was the Klingon stuff, and oh my God.
Yeah, someone actually did a meme of like one of the new Klingons sitting outside of Worf's window while he's eating breakfast, and he's got his hand up like this so he can't see her.
I saw that. She's all, "Hey, Worf." He's all, "Oh my God." I talked to her at the bar. I had a lot to drink. Sorry.
I thought it was pretty funny. It
was hilarious. Gary, the prequel Game of Thrones series is taking a risk. It's doing a Silmarillion series, right? And that's kind of what Amazon's doing with Lord of the Rings as well. So they are taking a risk. But they cast somebody else who I haven't heard of. But Naomi Watts is, as long as they don't try, if they go and try to copy the formula of the original Game of Thrones, that'll be terrible. That'll be like, if they actually cast Naomi Watts now, tell me guys if this is what you thought. Like, oh, there's their Cersei. Like they have to cast it's a socialite. Do they feel like if they feel like they need to copy certain characters from the original series, then we're going down a real bad road. It needs to be completely original. It takes place in Westeros. It's a full enough world where you can have completely different characters and it can still be interesting.
Hey, Westeros in the future is actually Westworld. There you go.
Oh my God.
Season 1? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It all makes sense now. It all ties together. They're both HBO shows.
That's how producers look at things, guys. They go, they're both on HBO. Aren't they the same?
I'm sorry I brought that out of the bag. You know what's going to happen now.
Oh my God. Thanks, Dennis.
Hey, you're all welcome. Philip A. Demick says, "Oh my God, Mikey Spock is really the three-eyed raven."
Oh.
Yes. I see her being the female Sean Bean minus the death. Well, then she's not the female Sean Bean. I mean, you take away the death. I mean, that's just a normal actor. It's not Sean Bean.
Exactly.
Given George R. R. Martin's perchance for sci-fi, I would be surprised. I would be surprised in his mind the whole long night thing was from some nuclear winter type cataclysm or something. Actually, it kind of was. So if the Sea Stone chair, they talk about this with the lore of the Sea Stone chair, which is a chair. It's a throne that's on the Iron Islands that was there when the early, the descendants, the people who are currently on the Iron Islands right now, when they got there, they say the Sea Stone chair was there. So it's ancient, old, and it's made out of a hard, smooth, hard plastic type feel to it. So it's otherworldly. So there is some nod to that. It was some kind of it was either godlike or alien-like or advanced culture at one time that some kind of cataclysm took out, and we are now thousands of years away from that. So I think that's already part of the lore, Jody. Got to read The World of Ice and Fire. Yeah, it's all in there. You got to reread it a lot, actually. And then there's a lot of, you got to go on the wiki of Ice and Fire and all the forums and Free Folk Reddit. We Do Not Kneel. Great Reddit.
Langley M. Neely says, "Laugh out loud. I want the camera to cut to Dennis every time Gary talks fire and ice, so you can watch my eyes kind of glaze over."
Oh yeah.
It's just like, there you go.
Mm-hmm. So how is Supergirl?
Oh,
hey.
Ouch. Hey now.
I don't care, man. It doesn't. Now who's getting butt hurt? I mean,
not.
Come on.
I just asked.
Oh, yeah, I'm not getting butt hurt. How's Supergirl? Okay.
Just asked how it was. I didn't say anything about it.
Tyon Ranger George R.R. Martin played himself as a zombie in Z Nation, and they make a joke about a dirty guy with a crossbow getting killed trying to save him. Fun fact. That was actually him then. Okay, I was going to say, because the guy looked a lot like him, but I wasn't sure if it was him or not. Nice. All right. I remember seeing him.
Thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a slice. Supergirl mentioned 4chan in this week's episode. They did.
They did. Yeah, it was really dumb, man. It was even I rolled my eyes.
That was really, man. From what? I'm sorry. Worf needs to go on STD and state that he does not talk about this. What? I'm not sure what that meant, Joe.
I don't know. I do not know.
It's probably something that's going completely over my head, so I apologize, Joe.
Titan Rangers, yes, White Walkers are basically zombies.
They're
brought back from the dead.
They're brought back, but they're controlled by something. They're not just zombies that are just walking around eating brains. Yeah. Well, there's a difference. I mean, they're controlled by something, so they're
undead, right?
Yes, they're undead, but they're brought back by an entity. So there's different types. Yes, they're zombies, but there's different types of zombies. There's supernatural zombies. There is epidemic zombies, and then there's the thralls, where they're just basically just shells brought back to life by a sorcerer of some kind.
Applecurse says, "Hey Dennis, how about that Supergirl?"
How about that Supergirl?
And what about her? I don't know. What do you want?
She was saying, "Oh my God, who am I going to be in a relationship with now? And can I talk like an 8-year-old?" And yeah,
no, actually, Supergirl. it was very quiet this week because she was unconscious for most of the episode. So,
maybe that's what I'll watch.
Tian Ranger Joe's referring to an episode of DS9 where they go to the trouble with Tribble episodes, and when they ask the Klingons why the Klingons look different. Worf says,
okay, yeah. Worf says, I got you. All right, thank you. My bad.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I think everyone forgot about that.
Resident Evil's no, I bet there was a bunch of people who went, I got that. Resident Evil zombies are their own class. They are. There's many different classes of zombies, but I think what Dennis was just saying is they're dead and they're walking around. They're zombies.
They're zombies. Exactly.
They're zombies.
I put zombies under one category. If you're formerly dead and now you're walking around, you're a zombie.
-2 on nerd cred, Gary. That's okay. You're right, Saquist. I'll accept that.
And Slurmy Scott says, used to be voodoo priests created zombies. Now anyone can do it. I know. Yeah. It's really kind of sad.
Serpent in the Rainbow. Don't bury me. I'm not dead. I love that movie. Love that movie.
Yeah, you know.
Necromancy. Yes, it is necromancy.
The whole thing about the testicles and the nail through the testicle, that scene still, I'm just like, oh, bleh.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Does that make vampire zombies?
That's a good question. No, because they never really are dead. They are supposed to be the undead, is what they call themselves. So they don't rot.
So there is a caveat there. They have to be rotting. So
yes,
so they're just basically cells.
Yeah.
Whatever was inside is gone now. Be it a soul or whatever. And it's just basically an avatar that you're controlling around. Well, no, it's like I said, there's the difference in in Game of Thrones, in the show, it's the Night's King or the others can raise them. We're not 100% clear on that in the books. We think we know, but we don't know. Back when men are men, women are women, Trek was Trek, and fluffy, cute creatures from Alpha Centauri were real fluffy, cute creatures from Alpha Centauri. That's right. You got that mostly right.
Mike Cedar says, nail and testicles. Robin says, hold my beer.
Right. Yes.
And it brings it back to DC again.
PC zombies, PC. Yeah, that's what we're gonna get. Oh my god, that would be kind of funny, Matt Guy.
Mr. B Natural or Kevin Smith's Supergirl episodes all set in convenience stores. You know, I don't think a single episode has been set in a convenience store, which is kind of odd. That's very very weird, especially for Kevin Smith.
So Supergirl is a zombie then because she's rotting inside. Yes, truth apocalypse. I think so. Vampires are afraid of necromancers, says Santo Dominus. Sounds like there's some experience there, Santo Dominus. Something you need to tell us?
Jody says this week's episode was awesome, but I think it was because they focused on Sam Witwer's Ben Lockwood than Kara and her baggage. Yeah, it was a little too heavy-handed for me sitting there because it was tying into some current events that were going on, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. You can stop now. Yeah, no, you guys really can't stop now.
No.
They won't.
No. Yeah,
they won't.
I know they won't. No, Sam Witwer is not in Titan Saquist. He's on Supergirl. He is playing Liberty, Citizen Liberty. There we go. Citizen Liberty is who he's playing. Even has the mask and everything. So it's pretty funny. So on to some news. DC Universe news. Virginia Madsen has been cast as Maria Sunderland in Swamp Thing.
This is going to be a good show, folks.
Yeah, it is.
This is going to be a very, very good show. And I mean, not particularly from this casting, just everybody involved in it. Mark Verheiden. Susan has sung his praises. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He's not Akiva Goldsman. What else has he done besides he did Ash vs. Evil Dead season 3?
He did My Name is Bruce. He did the Aliens comic series, which he just tweeted out. There was a new addition to that. He's doing the Swamp Thing now. Yeah, he's big in he's been with Dark Horse for a long time. And Mike Richardson, that's the world he comes from. So he understands comics. He gets it, and that's why I also think Swamp Thing will succeed for DC.
And really, you had mentioned that they're really going into that, like they're going to make it a hard R. They're going to really drive into the horror elements of it, which is great, but they're still going to keep some of the, Alan Moore elements, which they need to do. Otherwise, it's just a monster story.
Right.
Because what I would do if I was controlling Swamp Thing is I would go heavily into the Bernie Wrightson straight up. It's a horror show. And then as time goes on, I would introduce the Alan Moore stuff and make it, because it gets trippy after that. But you lure fans in a little bit, and then you kind of go a little Legion with it, because you can go very Legion with Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
And still make it scary.
Yeah, you could.
And I mean, I think this is good because this sort of show, which is going for the hard R, which is going for the horror, is going to temper the other streaming shows like from Marvel that want to just dabble in PG-13.
Oh, yeah, that's where you're right. This is where DC could crush Marvel.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your weakness. You got to find a weakness and exploit it, right? So they fucking go rated R all day long, and Marvel's going to be pussyfooting around with like characters like the Punisher and Deadpool and not being able to do anything with them. And they're going to go, hey, we're going to take our number 2 character. We're going to put her in a rated R movie. Fuck you, Marvel. I love that.
What happens? So let's say Swamp Thing takes off and does, really, really well, which it will, more than likely. So let's say they want to do some more supernatural shows, kind of like one that got canceled a couple of years ago on NBC with a guy in a trench coat that they keep bringing back. You think they could bring that whole thing back and throw it on the DC universe?
Well, that's what I was talking about with the CW thing earlier. Is it's becoming a problem. It's going to start interfering, because in the Patreon hangout we did today, we talked about Constantine not being in Swamp Thing is a fucking crime. Like, you cannot not have Constantine. It's where he started. So if they're going to even go anywhere near the Alan Moore stuff, you got to bring in Constantine at some point. And
well,
why not?
he's only a guest right now on Legends. So, I mean, they can always remove him from there and just bring Matt Ryan.
I mean, I was so happy he was back on TV, and I'm happy for the guy that he's got work, but that's an abomination. I cannot even. It makes me physically ill seeing what they're doing to him on that show. Oh, fuck. I want to talk about a rage video. Fucking A. You want to talk about just ripping the balls off a good character? Oh, yeah. He does not belong on that show. He does not belong in PG-13, like kissy poo land.
No.
You know, 14-year-old girl shipping fucking feelings in hallways. And like, yeah, what do they do with Constantine? Do they have him like taking on the devil or anything, or even trying to finish out a story arc from the first season? No. It's like, who's he making out with? That's the first fucking thing they worry about.
But that's their demographic, and they know that. They know what the CW appeals to. That's what they're going to go to. Now, if DC's smart and they have good people behind them, they're going to get Constantine. They're going to pair him up in Swamp Thing, maybe put him in there for a bit, then spin him off into his own series. DC, if they go hardcore, they're going to get adults. They're going to get the comic book fans that are kind of feeling disenfranchised from the CW, and DC can make a push, and they have James Gunn now. So get him involved in the streaming service. There's so much that DC can do to make Marvel just kind of fade for a bit.
Well, actually, they're bringing James Gunn in on one of their movies. God, I can't remember which one it was now.
Yeah.
That we reported on, but
Suicide Squad 2.
So there we go. Suicide Squad.
He's writing on that, and I think they're probably going to have him direct, and they're just waiting. They're just waiting to announce it. And since there wasn't an outcry, a huge outcry of him coming back, there was a billboard that went up recently of asking him to be hired again on Guardians 3.
Saw that.
He's not. I mean, that's it's just not happening.
No.
Marvel's done with him, and Feige can't get him back. That's the whole thing. I know Feige didn't want anything to do with all of that stuff, but there's no way he's coming back because Disney is not going to lose face on that one, and they're not going to backtrack on
Legends of Tomorrow's premiere it lost almost half its audience from last year. So.
Well, that's all the CW shows from what it sounds like at this point.
That is across the board. That is Riverdale. That is everything.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a top 10 CW, and they don't have like all their shows are just really down.
I think it also has to do with where the CW is showing up at, because I think they lost a lot of affiliates too.
Right.
They lost a whole bunch of them. So that also, because I know I can't watch it live. I have to stream it.
Yeah, it's not available in San Diego.
It's available in San Diego, but I can't get it. I have to put up an antenna, that's super strong antenna, and I'm not about to like rewire shit to do that.
Where is it coming from?
It's coming from San Diego, like North San Diego. I don't know exactly where.
North County?
Yeah, North County. Because it's basically there's a CBS station. And the CBS station and them are sharing the tower. So they actually are broadcasting at the same time, but it's in North County. So I don't get it out here.
It's okay. It's available, but it's not available.
Yeah.
So it's not available in San Diego, like I was saying before, which is the 24th largest media market. It's not the biggest in the world because, it's just in that little pocket. Problem is, it's like right next to LA, which is the second media market in the not the world, the country. Sorry. And there's other places it doesn't make it either. Plus, people are just watching network TV generally less. Still, the average drop of viewership on overnight television has been somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, Susan, somewhere in the 15 to 17%. Yeah. Which is still a huge drop. It's killing the NFL right now. And but this, like, you can see it right there, guys. So when you see that minus 43.89%, that is in the 18 to 49 demo compared to the first episode of season 3. So it's at point, so they have just under 1 million overnight viewers. That's not counting streaming or any other stuff. And our ratings still suck over here. They do them way better in the UK. They count streaming, all kinds of shit. And they get the data pretty quick.
That's everyone does. They just don't over here. They don't like releasing it.
That's ridiculous because I don't understand that. I don't know why they're so proprietary about it. I mean, the trades are going, they have ways to find out when your show's failing.
Yeah.
So just release those figures. It's not Fort Knox, and just be done with it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Tyon Ranger says, unpopular opinion, the Keanu Reeves movie was pretty good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun for what it is. I mean, you know, of course not. He's not Constantine, but he acts like him. He doesn't look like him, but he acts like him. I was entertained by the movie. I own the movie.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a huge Constantine fan, so that's why I'm a little hard on the Legends of Tomorrow. I just don't think he belongs on that show. I mean, I think it really guts the character. You can look at it another way, like, hey, they're just having fun with him. It makes it look silly. So the next time he rolls, I mean, that's your last impression of him. And it's kind of, fuck, I wanted something better for Matt Ryan. But that might ruin his chances of playing Constantine in something more serious, in my opinion. Maybe he should have said no to that. Kind of sucks. Because I can't see that. Can you see the Constantine that's in Legends of Tomorrow popping over into a very serious, hardcore, rated R Swamp Thing show?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't attach him to the Legends of Tomorrow. It's another version of him that's there. I look at it as comics in a way. When when you have Constantine for a while, there was in like about 15 different comics, kind of like Wolverine in a way. And they weren't written all the same. It's the same thing with this. I'm not looking at Legends of Tomorrow being the same as Swamp Thing.
I mean, they're not, the comics aren't written the same, but I mean, the one thing comic books used to get right for the most part is they would try to write their character consistently when it's on different writers.
True.
And Constantine is very much like a fucking punk rock sorcerer who smokes a lot. I mean, there's not much. I mean, it's not a super deep character. All right. He's funny. And he's got a lot of heart. He's dark. He's a very flawed human being. And semi-sorcerer. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll totally ruin him. I think if he was on that show for years, it would. I don't think it will totally ruin him, but I don't know.
He's on for one season. It's not that big of a deal. So.
I'm not saying, as the person who's making decisions, I'm betting they would recast him. It would suck. I like Matt Ryan. I'd like to see him in Swamp Thing, but I bet you they recast him now.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Tyon Ranger says the world needs Marvel and DC to get along so we can get a Blade Constantine TV miniseries.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It just never happened.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens is Constantine. Ooh,
that would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good.
And he's got the British accent already.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't grow out the porn stash. Good Lord. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, no, when he was at Comic-Con, he had the porn stash going. I'm like, dude, that's got to be for a role. It better be for a role, man, because that looks really bad. Yeah. Chris Persa says, don't forget Constantine drinks to keep his inner demons at bay, literally. Yes. The animated City of Demons that they're showing, I guess they're releasing it like an episode at a time on the CW Seed now. And that was the first episode. Was he wakes up hungover and his inner demons are all over the room because they've escaped.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So he's got to smash them. He's smashing them. And then has to draw them all back into him. Alien Renders porn stash, not like the second one, the first one. Porn mustache, yes.
Yeah.
Porno mustache.
Oh, as opposed to porn stash, I get it. Sorry, I was not following along there.
Yeah.
I will remember to play along. Two meanings on that one.
Yeah.
Man, back in the days when people had porn stashes. Now it's just a porn cache.
That's right. Porno cash. That's all it is. Langley. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
Langley M. Neely says, a scene involving a character that is dead in the DCEU by Snyder's admission. The dead Robin is Grayson is factual evidence, period. Yes, that was one of the things that pissed me off again about Snyder, was that he said, and again, he did it just because he could, that he killed off Dick Grayson. So, same thing like he did with Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
Yeah. I'm still pissed about that to this day.
Yep.
Just because he said it'd be a hoot to do that.
Yeah, there's you know what? There's a couple of minor things in Superman or Batman versus Superman. I always want to give Superman top billing because he should have it. I mean, I don't totally mind that movie except for fucking killing Robin and just dispatching Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, that rubbed me wrong. You know, there's other things in it that it's not a perfect movie. I mean, I've seen the director's cut and I can kind of enjoy it, but I mean, it's not good. I'm never going to say it's good. It's so, what a waste.
Yeah.
What a goddamn waste. I mean, the DC characters deserve way better. The DC fans deserve better than that. And I know some of y'all are loyal as hell and you'll back that movie and want a Snyder cut. It's like, no, don't. You deserve better. Just lay back, wait. You'll get something good eventually. I think it might be on TV first before it's like, they're not even going ahead with a Superman movie right now. That's depressing.
Wait until James Gunn does Suicide Squad 2, and then he'll be given the keys to do Batman or Superman, something like that. And he'll do it right.
And we'll find out if he's really good at that point. We'll find out like what he's made of, because he won't have that Marvel structure. Which if you play along, man, they make sure you will not fail as a director.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering like how much you actually, they probably get there going, wait, I don't have to do that. And I don't have to do that. No, we got somebody for that. Don't worry. And that's probably what pissed off the couple of directors that did get pissed off, like Edgar Wright, who probably wants to do more hands-on shit and they wouldn't let him.
Yep.
And yeah.
Well, same thing with Jon Favreau. He wanted to do a lot more too. And he walked away from it. He said, yeah, I'll help you set things up. And he goes, and I'll still play the role of Happy, but I'm not directing anything else.
Then again, guys, it's not directly stated in the films, which is true. Jimmy Olsen died. I think that was actually Jimmy Olsen.
That was Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, they said his name was Jimmy Olsen.
He says, I'm Jimmy Olsen. I'm with the CIA, and I'm here to save you, is what he says. So Jimmy Olsen's dead, but them coming, they didn't come out and say Dick Grayson died, but didn't you just say that Zack Snyder did say he was dead? He did. He said it was Dick Grayson.
So
we all thought it was Jason Todd.
Yeah, and they're going to go back on it because the DCEU is no more. I mean, they are not doing that universe anymore. It is dead. They are doing a brand new thing out of hopefully Aquaman or Wonder Woman. There's rumors right now that Wonder Woman's got delayed because of reshoots, because they're gonna do the Flashpoint shit. I mean, that could be just crazy internet rumor. I don't know for sure. But the DCEU that Snyder started is dead. It is not going to happen. So yes, Dick could come back.
Wow.
And they could.
I was just gonna say thank you to Santo Dominos, 20 Canadian dollars, I believe that is.
Yep.
Been a while since I was able to catch one of your live chats. Glad I finally caught one. Well, welcome, man. Glad you were able to make it. And thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, Mako says the speculation is that Wonder Woman 2 will be Flashpoint. That's what I heard, but I mean, I heard another YouTuber saying that, so I'm like going to take it with a grain of salt. I hope not, says Langley. Gary and Dennis, is there a rumor about a female director at Guardians of the Galaxy in the future since James Gunn got fired? That's what Marvel has said. They intend to hire a female director, ignoring 50% of the world's population, and to find a female director instead of maybe just the best director. And maybe it's a female.
Yeah, I'm fine with it as long as they get a good director. That's all.
I just wish they'd stop asking specifically to find a female.
Yeah, because that's kind of against the law.
Yeah, in normal places it is, but not there, not at all. Because it's part patting themselves on the back. Look at what we're doing. Look at us. They're like errant children.
Yeah. And Chris Persa, guys, they could pull a Smallville and have Jimmy Olsen die and have his brother James Olsen take his place. That fucking pissed me off on Smallville, man. Let me tell you, that was some deep bullshit on that one. You know, having you first you bring in Sean, what's his name, Iceman from
Aston, not
Aston.
What's his name now? God damn it!
Yeah,
I forgot.
And you have him play Jimmy Olsen and then have him fucking die and then have this little kid and they're like, oh, you're Jimmy Olsen now. Here you go. Here's your dead brother's camera.
And we're going to call you Jimmy. So
yeah, we're going to call you Jimmy now.
You're the new Jimmy. It's so dumb.
You're Jimmy number 2.
That's Smallville. I mean, like, you can't get that mad. Smallville was dumb. I mean, it was fun,
dumb, but dude, it pissed me off.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I watched all the seasons, but it was dumb. It was a dumb show.
Yeah,
it was a fun dumb show though. Of course, unfortunately, it laid the groundwork for what the CW that we have today. And the problem is what happens when you get a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, then it just gets worse every time. So, no Wachowskis, please. Yes, thank you, Saquist.
Oh, come on, you can have the Wachowski sisters come in and do something.
They did 2 good movies.
They did two good movies. Yes, definitely.
Bound and Matrix. So Bound is a very good movie.
Yeah. You know, I'll say it's a pretty movie. Was Speed Racer? Speed Racer was a very pretty movie.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty.
But it was a mess. It was a fucking mess.
Wow. Sometimes we do love pretty messes, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna need another Jimmy.
Pull another Jimmy out of the cart.
Oh my god.
Yeah, tell me about it. Hey, you know it was renewed for season 3 at Netflix. Castlevania.
Yes, Take a Man Blade just answer his question real quick. The DP for The Matrix directed V for Vendetta. The Wachowskis just produced it, but I think they kind of ghost directed a little bit of it. So I'll give you that. Castlevania season 3 with more episodes. So you want to talk about like knowing right away if Netflix believes in a show, and it must have had just like fucking crazy. So that data we were talking about before was done by a company here in San Francisco called Jump Shot, and they only looked in the US, but they also only looked basically, right, Susan, at the first week. So I mean, Daredevil could do better later, but it's kind of like how you look at a video here on YouTube. The analytic data is pretty much the first 40 hours. You live and die by the first 48 hours, especially of a live stream, especially of a live stream. For some reason, live streams don't get the love later on than regular videos do, with a couple exceptions that I'm not going to share here. But that, you know, you got to look at like once in a while a video will, like our Ash versus Evil Dead cancel one, the one that got us to meet Susan. That one didn't do well at all. And then like a month later, it caught on. So that doesn't really happen on Netflix, though. They know after the first week to renew Castlevania with more episodes. And, you know, animated shows aren't cheap, right, Dennis?
No, they're not. And they take a lot of work, a lot of work. And I'll give Adi Shankar credit on this one. He is pumping this stuff out because
is he attached to this though? I didn't see his name attached.
He's still produced to it. Yeah, he's still producing it. He's just producing though. That's all he's doing, because his production company is also going to be doing. And it was just, or it hasn't been announced yet officially. Supposedly he's going to announce it officially on November 16th. Legend of Zelda TV series, animated, from what I understand. So if he does the same thing for Castlevania, or for Legends of Zelda they did for Castlevania, I think that's going to be in pretty good hands.
Yeah, if you like that game. I mean, I know nothing about it. I didn't play. I mean, I've seen, you know, I remember the first commercial for the first game, Zelda, back in the 80s.
Yeah,
remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show is really, really fucking good. And I see that people are more and more people are starting to talk about it now. And it, you know, it's just like a band hitting. Like a bunch of people caught the first series, right? And a bunch of people have been in it from the beginning. They were fans of the game. They read the comics. Then there's those who just saw the first season and went, "Oh, man, this is fucking something special. This is good." And then like the rest of us kind of rolled along. We're finally catching on. And it really is something special. This is not your regular fucking cartoon. We wouldn't sell you bullshit here. We gave this the Nerdrotic seal of approval.
We did.
Just don't hand out to fucking everybody. It is that good of a show. So like, yes, this show is like almost as good as Counterpart, The Expanse, Legion. It's in that the pantheon or whatever, lack of a better term, of Nerdrotic. It's really fucking good. I don't know if I made that point clear.
I don't know. How good was it?
It was pretty fucking good.
All right. I want to say thank you to Chris Prissa for the $5, sending out the love. Fudge the analytics.
Thanks. Fudge those analytics. Yeah, you gotta be careful if oh yeah, I should probably warn you guys in super chats, if you're even like if you want to get crass, which I don't mind here, you can do it. We're big fans of freedom of speech, just personal attacks we're not a fan of. I mean, of people in the chat. If you want to attack us, I don't give a shit. Is don't be crass on the super chat though, because YouTube is diverting those. The rumor is they're sending them to charity, but the reality is they're probably just pocketing it. And I'm not a big critic of YouTube here, but if they are doing that, for one, it's against the law, and for two, it's just fucking wrong. So, but be careful, because that is happening. There's a channel out there that is pretty controversial, so I'm not really surprised. But they got their super chats. They got a community strike, and their super chats were suspended indefinitely, which means they're never getting them back. And that's how that guy made his living. So, I mean, he made his living on the edge, and that's life, and he's probably gonna have to. It sucks for him, but someday they could, lower that bar a little bit and just, I'm talking bad about a TV show. So hopefully it's just, but be careful on the super chats. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Joe says, okay, I'll stop.
You don't have to stop. No, I'm just saying about the crass stuff. Yeah, you guys are great. You don't have to stop sending super chats, but if you want, it's cool. You don't need to send them. But giving YouTube an opportunity to take something away if somebody says fuck in it, which is stupid as hell, by the way. But they are doing it.
Felipe Diaz says there is no hint about what game it's going to be, but he said it's something about a big Japanese game company. Could be a lot of different games. Just wait for the announcement. Yeah, supposedly people have said that he actually narrowed it down to Zelda. I don't know how they did it, but that's what they're saying. So,
yeah. So it's Ralph from the Ralph Report. Ralph reports, he's that internet blood sport stuff. Some people might like it, but I think he got 2 strikes or something like that, which is never good. Yeah.
No, it isn't good.
But again, you live on the edge. That's what happens.
Yeah.
They can take a man blade. There was a Doomcock actually posted on his Twitter of a lawyer going over how exactly it is against the law here in California. And it's funny is so many California-based companies are not aware of California law and how often they break it, because there's so many fucking laws here. It's almost impossible to keep track, but there's a lot of laws here. And yeah, it's not, you can't just, even though it's an at-will state, you can't just up and fire somebody for no reason. You got to have reasons. You can't just take money from people. If you have a business agreement that there's going to be money exchanged here, you can't, here's one that YouTube breaks all the time. I'm waiting for them to bring it up, because one of the companies I work for got sued for this very same thing. No matter how you get paid in California, no matter what kind of contract, if you are in business with each other to a point where one business or your partner is giving you cash money, you're getting paid out once a month like we do, you need to be provided a statement. That is California law. Be it 1099, be it a contractor, be it a fucking handshake. There needs to be by law a statement breaking down how you are getting paid and where all that money is coming from. YouTube does not do that. Now, there is places you can go and look at the individual super chats, but they don't provide you with statement. Waiting for that one. I'm sure they'll think of it eventually. But yeah.
Yeah, they probably have a workaround on that one.
Well, they thought a big company I work for thought that too, and then they got their asses fucking sued off, and I got a class action check. Wasn't that great, but I mean, it was better than nothing. But forget all the overtime pay. They never paid me because they never provided a statement. So
yeah, and so I don't know if you remember, but there was an animated movie back when we were kids, Gary, that probably scarred you about as much as it scarred me.
It was called Cave Painting.
After that, actually, I should say. It's a movie about some rabbits called Watership Down that a lot of parents thought that they should take their kids to. You probably remember that one too, Susan, right?
Yeah, Watership Down, yes.
Yes. BBC and Netflix are going to remake this in 3D animated form.
Actually, I think it might, with the cast that they have assembled, I think it might be very, very good, because the book, I don't know, I saw it, I kind of thought it was sad in a sense.
Yeah, that's really sad.
It's very sad. Yeah.
I mean, sad.
The thing was, though, all the parents at the time thought it was marketed to kids, and it's very violent. So you're bringing 4-year-olds in there, and they're watching rabbits tearing each other apart, and the animation was really damn good at the time. I mean,
yeah. Oh my God, it was good.
Yeah, and it's fucking violent and bloody,
violent and dark. Yeah,
yeah. And kids are crying in the theater watching. Oh, I want to go home, because it is that violent. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do this in 3D, 3D format.
And talk about
I have no desire to see it in 3D. I'm sorry. I'll go watch the original in that beautiful 2D animation that nobody does anymore except for Victor Brothers. Joe, thank you for the $5 super chat. I have to support big villains, Gary and Dennis, mentoring little evils. I do my best. I do my best. My kid's too nice though. I got to work on that. I own the original Watership Down on Criterion DVD. It probably has the killer special features on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Silhouetted Animator says, that's right. That's what you just read. And Stormy Scott says, I saw Watership Down. It was good animation, but the plot was gloomy. It was. Oh yeah. It's really, it's not, it quite literally scarred a lot of kids in our generation, man. It really did.
It was, but it was also like early edgelord shit too.
It was.
I really liked Watership Down, man. It was really deep about the rabbits, violence.
Yeah, Tekkaman Bald, including Optimus Prime, with Optimus Prime dying.
Mike Cedar, sorry, Billy. Sometimes rabbits die.
Rabbits die.
In very bloody ways. Kathleen Kennedy saw that movie.
Oh God.
Yes.
Tyon Ranger, Bambi's mom, Old Yeller, pretty much every Disney parent.
Yep. But to me, that was when Disney was good, though. When they didn't hit you over the head with messages, when they let the story do the talking.
Yeah.
Yep. That is so far gone. And that's not just Disney. I mean, Disney's probably the most guilty of it right now, for sure.
Philip A. Demick says the only 3 things that scared me as a child were Watership Down, the Spider from Space 1999, and the Tiki Doll from Trilogy of Terror. Yeah.
Oh, the Zuni doll, you mean?
Yeah, that thing with the teeth. I just remember that.
That's great. Revisit that if you can. It's one of the best demon doll movies out there.
Space 1999 used to creep me out But I was really
I love
little when I
that
was
show.
watching it. But it
I
used to
did
creep
too.
me out.
Yeah, I actually had the ship at one point. The you remember they had
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great ship design. That was
When
a
are they
great
going
ship
to
design.
remake that? Because I feel that'll be coming soon.
Yeah,
2090. Probably because Marvel owns the 2099 thing, so they can go 3099. I guess that's way too far out though.
they can do space.
They can call it 1999 and just call the ship. That's a ship number or something. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. You're reimagining it, Gary.
I am. Oh my god! I just reimagined it, motherfucker.
You know,
I did not mean to do that. Sorry. Good night, Silhouetted Animator.
Good night,
Thank
Silhouetted.
you, my friend. Take care.
Hopefully they do Manimal too, though. You know, they bring.
You've been pushing for that. I think you need to pitch it. The time is right. Pitch it.
I had brought Manimal up for a couple of,
Well, he's going to talk about Manimal and then Timeless a little bit, and then he just gets stuck on things,
Well, I need to do that before I go to sleep. It's how I lull myself to sleep now.
Yeah. Good night. Mike Cedar saw Raiders of the Lost Ark when he was a small child. Yes, that would scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That ending, holy shit. Yeah, if I was little, that movie would fucking scar the shit out of me. But I wasn't, and it was rad.
Mike Sider says, and Poltergeist ruined clowns for me.
No.
that clown doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pac-Man Blade. Automan needs to come back. And Beastmaster. Mark Singer's still out there. We can bring Beastmaster back.
John Pasquarelli, bring him in to write it and direct it.
Damn.
So Mrs. Beekler thought it'd be a good idea on the day we graduated 6th grade from Flora Vista Elementary School to take all the kids to go see Poltergeist, which is what she did. Because my mom was like, crazy mom. She got it's you like that Spielberg guy. I think he's directing this movie. It's called Poltergeist or something like that. We're all gonna go, kids. Let's go. And yeah.
Everyone pile into the station wagon.
Everybody piled into the Pontiac Grand Safari. Went to see Poltergeist.
Laws.
This makes us sound really old.
There was no seatbelts. No, there wasn't. Was there seatbelt? No, there was not in 82.
No seatbelts. Nope.
Right. I remember standing up in the back seat of the car, like,
Oh yeah, we had the seats that the station wagon had the seats that folded up. So if you sat in the very back, you'd be facing backwards.
Oh yeah.
And that thing could fit like easily 10 people in that car. Easily. Yeah, we had a bunch of us in there. We went and saw the movie. It was great. We had a good time. Mom did hear about it from a couple parents, but those parents were fucking stick up your ass parents. So they're remaking The Last Starfighter. Well, then I guess he wasn't the last Starfighter, was he? Alien Renders.
Well, that's
the second to last Starfire.
That's still a rumor. They haven't officially gone on with that one as of yet.
Well, isn't that pretty much 90% of the report? The shit we report is, well, it's talked about. I mean, this whole that Ava DuVernay fucking New Gods, she's on another project now.
Yeah, I know.
So remember,
that's kind of what I was getting at with all the, with Ewan McGregor and all these celebrities and all these producers with the amount of stuff they commit to. Like Guillermo del Toro, I don't know how the hell he has time to breathe.
Yeah.
Well, seeing that he has a hard time finishing one fucking movie at a time,
Yeah.
Let's see, New God.
Penultimate Starfighter is what Davis 404 says. Instead of The Last Starfighter, it's Penultimate Starfighter.
The penultimate. I like that. That's good.
This is an off the wall comment, but I'm thinking about Brian Fuller because we're bringing all of this up. But if any of you can explain this to me that have seen him lately, when did he start morphing into Willy Wonka? Have you seen his wardrobe?
Style? Yeah. I did notice that he used. He's flamboyant is the best way to put it sometimes. But yeah, he's like. Okay, I'm looking for a current picture.
Maybe he's been hanging around George Miller a little bit.
Well, he used to be like this. Like, okay, I'm going to show 2 pictures. He may be. Here's a healthy picture of Brian Fuller. There we go. Healthy, good-looking chap right there, and now is like And now we got what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, we're
Oh,
right here. Yeah.
He went Peter Jackson is what he did.
Am I just gonna come out? There we go. Okay, I can kind of get behind this picture. I don't got no problem with that.
Yeah, I like the rabbit's a nice touch. I like the jacket.
Is it a
like the
dead rabbit
as well? Though.
Yeah, he's got some duck lips going right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drugs. I will just say drugs. I mean, allegedly. Hey, you know what?
Aliens, but it's aliens.
Fucking Beatles made great albums on drugs. Okay.
Everyone made good well, not everyone made good albums on drugs.
No. It's just, I mean, you got to be able to hold your drugs, for Christ's sake.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Janis Joplin was great, but yeah, couldn't hold her drugs. Poor girl. Same with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Jimmy actually was okay if they didn't strap him down to the damn board. That was the whole thing that happened there. They didn't put him on his side. So, yeah, that was
I thought he was dead before they got to him. Was he still alive?
He was still alive. They strapped him down to a board because he was seizing a little bit, and they strapped him down.
Oh, and then he choked on his he pulled the yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was the whole thing. I was like, really?
Hey, those were cautionary tales though that stuck in my head, and no matter how freaking loaded I was, I knew to never sleep on my back. Ever. Probably. Thanks, Jimmy. So sorry you died and everything, but I learned my lesson. Drugs are bad, okay? Oh, there's one right there. Joe's just said it. Drugs are bad, okay?
Oh man.
Aren't we up late for a nooner? Says Mr. Roboto. It's a nooner somewhere.
Yeah.
Midnight nooner. It's the other 12 o'clock. Hi, Mr. Roboto. How you doing?
Since you guys are giving me shit about this, I'm going to do it anyway. Timeless is going to have a 2-hour season finale or series finale on December 20th at 8 p.m. on NBC. They finally announced when they're going to do it. And
yep.
Air. So there you go. We finally got the official word as to when it's happening.
And I'm going to let Dennis do a solo recap, and all you Timeless people who are clamoring to talk about it can talk about it that night.
You know what the Timeless group is called, right? What they're officially called? Clock blockers.
Oh.
I had to pronounce that slowly if you realize. To monetized for it. I said clock.
We say butt chugging. We can say cock blocking if we're gonna. Clock blockers. Okay, I've heard worse. That's pretty funny.
I thought it was funny. Yeah.
Just announced a Sabrina Supergirl crossover episode. Oh, OMG! I am so there. I am so happy. IRL.
It's noon in Bangkok is what's
it's noon in Bangkok. It's always the nooner in Bangkok. You know what I'm saying?
Bangkok has him now.
Yeah. Hey.
Mr. Roboto says that's the show with Reed Richards. Which one? Time.
No, that was the one where he was an immortal or some shit.
Oh yeah, they keep God, man, they keep doing commercials for that on the CW app, and I'm like, I don't want to see this thing, man. It was a bad show to begin with. So,
and it got canceled, but they're showing commercials for it for reruns or whatever. Or?
Yeah, they keep they have the old seasons up on the app, so they keep trying to show people. You know, they're like, hey, we've got other stuff you can watch that you really don't want to watch because it got canceled.
Because we just need content to fill. Oh,
yeah, it's horrible, man. And it keeps playing over and over again each commercial break, you know, that they do. And I don't watch them. I actually get up and go and do something when the commercials are playing because they have to play through anyway. I can't fast forward through them, and I could hear them all the time. So I've gotten to the point where I actually put the mute on now and just walk away. And I come back about 2 minutes later. I'm like, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Gary, Dynamo 75 says, Gary and Dennis, we all know the 80s toys of Power Lords sucks. However, the remake toys are better. So I was wondering if you're interested in seeing someone do a cartoon series or a motion picture on the movie. I don't know that much about it.
Power Lords? Oh God, I remember Power Lords now. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I do remember Power Lords briefly, but I never watched it.
That's kind of a good design. I would be interested in seeing this. Yes, absolutely. Because they just look cool. I barely remember them though. I mean, like, I don't remember everything from the 80s. It was kind of a spotty time for me. Early 80s, totally remember everything. After 85, it gets a little sketchy. 88's a lost year. I have no fucking idea what happened that year. I heard there was a president, something like that, but nothing much else.
There's one night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. The temples, but the pearls ain't free.
One night in Bangkok makes a hard man humble.
It's kind of funny. In chess.
It sounds like guys. I don't know. Is that just me? You sound like you're calling me from the moon.
What?
I think it's Hangouts. I think Hangouts is messing up a little bit.
Hangouts going on you.
Might be your connection.
My connection?
Yep. Let me see how ours is. I got way too many windows up. That doesn't help either.
Yeah, my connection is still going strong. Jody says, speaking of, what did you think of the weird rumor that there won't be a Christmas special for Doctor Who this year?
You sent me that article, Jody, and I'll read it real quick. It read like an Onion article. I mean, like, because the headline literally said, "Ooh, one of my friends got a car. Ooh, that sucks." Sorry, one of my friends got hit by a car and decided to post a selfie from the hospital.
Oh,
wow!
Because that's the first thing I think of after I get hit by a car.
Right.
Selfie.
When I look my best.
Yeah. No, he does not look good. I hope he's okay. Hang on. Dennis, read some chat, man.
Yeah, so Nigel brought Savage. It's all your fault, man. And you can't remember the year, so you can't prove the allegation wrong.
I cannot disprove something I don't remember. You are correct.
I can neither prove nor disprove that fact.
Yes.
Mr. Roboto says, anyone have a Rock Lord, the rare ones?
This looks like this totally looks like an Onion headline. It says Doctor Who Christmas special scrapped after writers run out of ideas. Well, that's not going to stop them. They ran out of ideas like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Aren't they just recycling shit now?
No.
That's what it seems like.
The last Sunday was just amazing and not in a good way.
I stopped watching. I watched the premiere and I was like, yeah, I don't need to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
And I walked away from it. So I was like, I'm watching too much other shit at the time. I don't need to spend it on really bad shit like this.
Yeah. View wisely.
Yeah. So I spent it on Supergirl and
keep reading the chat. Stretch a little bit.
Man. 1985. That's where you ended up with Catherine Kennedy and planned out the future of Star Wars. I believed you also got into bed with the Star Trek Discovery writers.
Oh my God.
Is what Niall Brought Savage says.
Oh.
Don't talk to your dad like that, Nigel, and go to bed.
Oh. Joe, thank you for the $5. I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch and her magic pussy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that time of night where everything has devolved.
Is that demonetization right there? Or?
I don't know.
Oh, we were demonetized before we started tonight, guys. No joke.
Really?
As usual.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
Probably because we have lately, if I do a TV review or if we do a TV review prior to that TV's quote unquote embargo or something, we get demonetized, even though we do not fall under any of that shit. We're just coming out earlier than the other. So they try to disincentivize us from doing it, basically. They're also checking it out to make sure this might be more right than that one, to make sure that we're not actually showing the show. Because a lot of people go, hey, homecoming review, but they're actually streaming the show itself. You can't, it's really hard to get away with that shit on YouTube now without fucking making it like a box that's sideways. I mean, it's not even worth watching at that point, especially when you go to Daily Motion and watch pretty much everything you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're serious about this. Jody, that's weird.
Actually, we have someone here who says, Chris Prissa says, Wikipedia still has December 25th special listed with Wayne Yip to direct. But that's Wikipedia. Anybody can edit that.
I sort of think we might have mined and possibly overmined every single thing we could about Christmas and Doctor Who the last time we more or less ignored it. He's not wrong about that, but according to sources close to the production, there's a silver lining here. That's instead of a Christmas special, we're going to do it. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is even worse news. Thank you for passing this, Jody. This is fucking video worthy. I'm going to cut a video right after this. They're not going to do the Christmas special because Christmas is a problematic holiday, folks.
Oh, what?
Yep.
When did this happen? When
Christmas
I didn't
is,
get that.
Christmas is too fucking offensive to do to put a special around, and it would so they're going to do it around New Year's now because Christmas is too Christian. Yep.
I'm
about to spurg out. I really am. Wow. My brain cells are like, there's an stop aneurysm. Dude, I love your country over there in the UK. You guys are kind of turning into fucking idiots, and you need to stop, please. Really, make it stop. Okay, we love Christmas, we love Doctor Who, we love New Year's, we love everybody. Christmas is a Santa Claus holiday. You don't have to even bring Jesus into it. Okay. Oh my God. Stop.
They can get around it. This is just stupidity. They can get around it if writers were creative and do something that's holiday based. Just call it our holiday special.
Yeah.
And that
just
way
have it fucking snow.
Yeah, have it snow, have the TARDIS in snow, have something lovely happen, have, what do they call it? Christmas crackers over there. And just come on. I mean, really?
I think they should just do a Kwanzaa episode.
They should.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But I think that's their logic. Okay.
It just...
You can make it just a holiday special and call it a holiday special. They straight up don't want to say they're canceling the Christmas special because it's problematic. So they're doing this bullshit. Oh, we've run out of ideas. For one, thank you for your honesty. Yes, you've run out of ideas a long fucking time ago. Oh my God.
Life is problematic. Then let's just cancel every television show because life is problematic.
Mr. Roboto, how about a Festivus Doctor Who?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Festivus. Yes, for the rest of it.
The world has officially gone insane. Okay. Pagan historical Stonehenge. Yes. Call it the Stonehenge special.
I love that.
The pagan special. People against goodness and normalcy. I like to dance in my goatskin pants around this ancient ruin. The city of crime.
Come on. What happened to the Virgin Connie Swale?
The Virgin Connie Swale.
Oh my God. Oh.
Every time he brings it up, I go, Connie Swale? Wait, don't you mean the Virgin Connie Swale?
The Virgin Connie Swale.
Dun. The eyebrow goes up.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Kronos crying.
Charlie Brown gets retitled over here. That's what Mr. B Natural says.
Yeah, this is all your fault, Jody. You sent this article. I thought it was a joke. That's why I saw the headline. I'm like, that's some fucking onion shit. Nobody comes out and says, oh, we're not going to, we're canceling Game of Thrones because we ran out of places to walk, but it's serious. The article is serious, and if I'll save it for a video. That's actually pretty juicy.
Well, wait a minute. We could do a Doctor Who Christmas special. Well, holiday special. And it'll be just a rehash of how Doctor Who helps George in Bedford Falls find the meaning of his life again.
Yeah.
That is the holiday special.
No, the current Doctor Who would go back to the crucifixion, and she would watch Jesus get crucified and say she can't interfere, but help.
Prime directive.
Yeah, but we find out that Pontius Pilate was actually a good dude and totally misunderstood, and she can't interfere because it's fixed point in time.
How about we just do one about the winter solstice? There you go.
Yeah.
Which is what it's actually all about.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's, there you go.
I want a writer's room. That's what I want for Christmas. I want to be in a writer's room.
Susan, you would run out of there in frustration so fast, especially if you're like the Star Trek one. You would go, I want to take these people's right to vote away. I want everything away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got your message there, buddy. So we're going to wrap things up because Dennis has class, actual class.
Yes, I have an actual class.
He's got an actual class he's got to go to.
He has class too.
Nah, not really.
I could fucking keep going. I just got super fired up right now. I read that article. I'm like, I was just like winding down, having fun, talking to my friends. Fucking A.
I want to say thank you to Mr. Roboto for the $2. Just enjoy a Dodgy Chammer and Jelly Baby. It's fine.
Right? Jelly Baby's actually
and maybe some fish sticks with custard.
Ooh, yummy.
I actually tried that with Logan, and it's not that bad, to be honest with you.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Oh,
Tom Baker does rule. We could go all night long. We really could. Mr. Roboto, thank you for the $2 super chat. Just enjoy a dodgy. Oh, you just read that because I'm an idiot. But, Jesus, doing your crucifixion. Jesus, you're doing your crucifixion all wrong. You're supposed to be upside down. Yeah, she goes and makes him go upside down. Yeah.
No, that's when we crossed over to STD, right?
Yes. Ugh.
Mikey Spock explains.
Marcus Kahn, it's fire inspector class is what it is. So
fire inspector.
Yeah, we dealt with fireworks and a wild urban interface today, or wilderness urban interface. Excuse me, wilderness urban interface.
What is that? That's intriguing.
Wilderness urban interface is where wilderness and urban meet. So you have your, woodland and all that kind of stuff that needs to be cleared away when you have brush that grows all the way up to the house, and people don't clear out a certain amount around their house, like up in Northern California, and you get these mega fires that happen and they just go and burn through your house really quickly because you don't have enough clearance around there. And then also conservation about there's a new school of thought now that forests, over the last 150 years, people have been conserving forests. They know, don't let the fires happen when actually you're laying a lot of dead material layout on the ground of forests.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and it's does
this tie in with the BLM by any chance?
No. This is actually
Bureau of Land Management.
Yes.
No.
And the shenanigans they've been pulling lately?
Yeah.
No, this is all California Fire Code and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're fucking basically taking over a ton of land for no reason or for conservation. Yeah. It's just it's a big land grab. Yeah, we can get into that. No, we can't. Secret. You want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
I used to be a firefighter.
Oh.
I used to fight fires. I used to work for California Department of Forestry, and I fought fires and the shit Dennis is talking about, clearing out brush and crap like that. I did it. Did it all.
I don't understand why people wouldn't clear out brush if they live in a rural area. That's where I want to live someday, and I'll be damned if I'm going to leave shit around so my house will burn.
You have a lot of people that, so the guy that is teaching the class also goes out and does inspections for one of the local communities around here. And like he says, there's people that live out in the sticks and they have like old mattresses and shit like that just all around their property. And like, I'm not going to clean that up. That's my property. I can put that stuff out there where I want to. Get off my property.
Yeah. Yeah, my land.
Some are like that. Some aren't. Yeah, first dead body I ever witnessed was from a fire burning over a dude. And yeah, I didn't just I cleared the brush and was a swamper like during the fires. It wasn't like after or before. It was while the fire was burning on its way to me. I cut and run as most of it is like run. Yep. But most of it is fucking running away. Yeah, but one guy didn't go fast enough and it burnt over him and he was cooked.
Yeah.
As the first dead body I ever saw, puke my guts out.
Yeah, they said, what is it? The Northern California fires that were happening. Some of them were burning as fast as an acre a second. That's how fast they're traveling.
There's one right now. I saw in the East Bay somewhere. I saw a big old plume of smoke going on right now. Yeah, it was. That's just. I'll save that for the December 7th.
Damn.
Podcast. But yes, I did. I used to fight. Yeah, run, Forrest, run. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something I used to do.
Land up there until I get there, then just stop with it. I want to be able to move.
Well, it's like this place is a tinderbox up here. We're so lucky we don't get. I mean, like this whole place. The fires in California get so insane, and they've gotten worse. I've lived here all my life, and listen, fire NATOs were not anything I was aware of. And again, lived in California, in this, like the one thing this place does regularly is burn, and I have never heard of a fire NATO until recently.
Yeah, fire season got extended out 81 days this year. Now they're talking about fire season being a year-round thing, which, by the way, costs money because you have people going out and doing fire watches and things like that. And so it does cost a lot of money. And you're going to see that in your insurance costs for people that live out in the rural, as it is right now. We were just talking about this in class today. Your insurance costs, sometimes your insurance gets cut because of where you live. We have a guy that he has a house up in Big Bear, and he said he had to go through like 5 different insurance companies before he could find insurance up there.
All right, we're gonna cut. Yeah, thanks for staying this long, Dennis. Sorry about that, buddy. We're gonna so sorry, patrons. I will get your video up on our next show. Or you know what? I'll put it up on the video. I'm gonna be cutting a video tonight right after this, so it'll be part of that, guys. So I apologize. Let me thank the super chats. Why don't you start thanking the chat, Dennis?
Yeah, thank you, Mary Ashmead, Damar Arigato, Mr. Roboto, Alien Renders, Philippe Demick, Tekaman Bald, Mike Cedar, Marcus Kahn, Kronos Chiron, Mr. B Natural, Matt Guy, Chris Prissa, Joe. Who else do we have here? Hidden Wiki and Jody. Mage Grey Wolf. How's it going? Who else do we have in here tonight? Apple Crow, Marcus Kahn, Sequist, Nigel Brought Savage, Susan Layton. I see you in there too. Apple Crow. Who else do we have in here that's still in here? Mako. I thought Mako had left, but you're here still. All right. Davis 404. And B. Cluett. Who else do I have in here? We Negan Now. Osaro, thank you very much. Iru Tanks 7, thank you. Dynamo 75. And who else do we have? Tyron Ranger, I already said. Thank you again, though. And that's about as far as I could go. Thank you. If I missed your name, thank you, everyone else. And as you can see, Gary has the video up, or of the Patreon. So did you have that up there, Gary? Now you
do it
find it.
No, I'm gonna save it for the next one, but I will put up the super chatters.
There we go.
There we go. We've got James Hardy for $10, Movie Finobi for $9.99, Movie Finobi for $1.99, CC, a new patron, $5. Welcome. Silhouetted Animator, $5. Another $5 from the great Silhouetted Animator. Thank you very much. Joe for $50, dude. Yeah. You are now the official sponsor of the Farscape recaps, Joe, and Venture Brothers. I'll throw in Venture Brothers too, because Joe is like one of our biggest Venture Brother fans, along with Apple Crow and everybody. Silhouetted Animator, 2 more $5 super chats. Man, you're awesome, dude. And wait, 2 more. Jesus Christ, Silhouetted Animator, and a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. We also had Joe for $5. We had Santo Dominus for 20 Canadian dollars. Chris Persia for $5 Canadian dollars. Joe, $5 more. Joe, $5 more. Mr. Roboto for $2 super chat. You guys, I can't thank you enough. I love doing this show. And trust me, Dennis and I give each other a ton of shit, and we love each other.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just to death.
That's right. I love you, you asshole.
You're a fucking prick. Fuck you. Wait.
Eat shit and die.
Eat shit and die, fucker. And Susan, our love is unconditional. It's just unconditional. Susan is great. Susan, plug your wares, please.
Sure. You can read me at 1428 Elm. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter at 1428_Elm. You can also find us at Instagram at the same address. I'm on Twitter at Susan on the Ledge, and at Instagram I'm on De Facto Scribe, and you can also find me on Facebook as well.
Brilliant.
Wait, one more thing. Sorry.
Sure. No worries.
The Goddesses of Gore podcast. You can catch me and Mecha Random and Tom Connors Jr. over at Midnight's Edge After Dark. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And that is 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
It will be part of our schedule. Now, our next show is Doctor Who, also incoming, a Doctor Who video. And then Sunday night, Sunday with Viking Bitch. We have we're doing Venture Brothers season 1. We're going to do a retro review. So we're doing them for Farscape, and we're also doing them for Venture Brothers by popular demand, actually. So I'm very happy that there was a popular demand. Like, people wanted this, and they wanted to hear Viking Bitch again. So she is back, and Dennis will be joining us as well, right, Dennis?
Yes, if I can get through season 1. Yeah.
You can get through. You practically. I mean, you've seen season 1.
I've seen season 1.
Yeah, you've seen it enough. You're good. You don't have to rewatch it again. I'm sure your memory is fine on that one. I have to rewatch it, so because mine is not. And that we're going to do that as well. And of course, we're still covering Titans. The next new show. There's not a lot of new shows coming up, folks. There's Origins from YouTube. We're going to check it out.
Homecoming.
We're doing Homecoming, but it's. So regular shows. When I talk about shows,
okay.
I'm talking about shows that come out weekly, not like shows that drop all at once, because we only get one podcast out of those. But for regular weekly shows, man, it is going to be Titans and Doctor Who until Night Flyers premieres December 2nd, and then a few days after that, Counterpart. Then it starts rolling for us. But right now, and as Dennis has reported, Doom Patrol starts right after Titans ends.
Yep.
So that is exciting. That is good news. That is really good news. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much in the chat. Hench for life. Mary Ashmead. Thank you for being a wonderful wrench. You too, Jody. And Mako. I saw Penn Farm Girl in there too. Am I missing anybody? I saw Brian Smart. Movie Finobi. So again, thank you everybody for watching. Sorry we couldn't get to every single chat. I apologize for that, but if you remember it, just bring it to me Monday for the nooner, and it's all good. Or put it in the comments here, and I'll respond to it there. So Dennis, take us out.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself with a shitload of brush out in the sticks someplace, and hopefully you don't have a whole bunch of old mattresses laying out in the backyard when the fire inspector comes by.
And your lips are burned off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, that was dark. That went dark very quickly.
Yours part went dark. Mine was fine.
It did. Well, I'm just it sucked. Yes, Philip A. Demick. Hail, my buddy Doomcock. Hail, Doomcock. Had a great video that just came out. And may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Now, Susan, in that 1-900 Susan voice, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.